Okay, good morning, everyone. I want to call the meeting of the Drainage District Board of Directors to order. We'll start with a roll call to establish quorum.
Good morning, David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2.
Everardo Villarreal, Precinct 3.
Richard Cortez, County Judge, that constitutes a quorum. Mr. Zecine, would you please lead us in today's prayer?
Certainly will, Judge. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Good morning, everyone. Let us pray. Father God, we continue to seek your clarity and your peace over all that's occurring in our country today. We know you're with us and for us as we continue to seek your counsel. We continue to pray for the judge and four commissioners you've appointed to lead this great county of ours. We pray for our mayor, school board members, city council, police chiefs, district attorneys, sheriff, judges, and all who serve local communities. Continue to strengthen with wisdom and grace for the heavy burdens they carry. May they manage their teams and projects with love. Keep their hearts pure and their eyes turned toward your face as they work in the best interests of the people they're called to serve. We continue to pray for the first responders, Father God, and their families. We lift them up to you. We ask for your grace, love, and wisdom be granted to doctors and nurses dealing with the ill. And we ask for your hand of peace and comfort over them and their families. And we continue to lift up to you our brother B, Father God, and all those who are battling illnesses. We pray for your healing hand over them today, Father God. Provide their families with the peace that you can only bring through your Son, Jesus. And we continue to praise you, Father God, for the healing that's come through you. We continue to pray for peace over all the families that have lost loved ones. We pray for those souls that have passed. May they be at peace resting at your side, Father God. May your strength carry them through all, and your grace, love, and mercy be over them. Lord, you dwell in brightness, truth, and love. Nothing makes sense without your love. Without you, Lord, dullness invades people, things, and events. We believe that you are our refuge and the source of our happiness now and forever. We're convinced that your promises will be fulfilled sooner or later. This is why we prefer a single day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. Lord, enlighten our minds and hearts to follow your path that leads to the endless day. Scripture continues to remind us that the more we seek you, the more we will find you. May we seek you in everything we do, and we continue to work as we're working for you, Father God. I ask all this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Next is the approval of the consent agenda.
Yes, sir. Approval of the consent agenda. We just have regular items that have been vetted by my staff. Everything's in order. We recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's go to item 5C.
5C1, yes, sir. It'll be a public hearing on the County Drainage District 1 proposed tax rate, sir, so you open that up.
I
Judge.
hereby call the public hearing to order to hear from anyone here regarding the proposed tax rate for Hidalgo County District Number 1. Is anyone here to address us regarding the proposed tax rate? Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed.
Judge, just for the record, we do have the M&O tax rate for 2021 was 0.0528, and the debt rate was 0.736 for a combined 1264, and we're proposing 2022 as 0.5. And debt rate of 0.679, which is combined 11.79, the voter approved rate. So it is going down.
Do we need a show of hands on the tax rate?
No, that was just the
No,
hearing.
it's
Just a public hearing.
Okay, we have some items to go on closed session, so pursuant to subchapter D of the Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, we'll be retiring to closed session to discuss items listed in Code Section 551.072, .074, and .071. I have a motion to do so.
Motion made.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I have 9:35. Okay, it's 9:43. We're back from closed session. We don't have any action items to
There is not.
action items to
There are
take.
no action.
So we go back to our regular agenda items, which will be open forum.
Yes.
Did anybody sign up for open forum?
Ms. Cantu, is there anyone signed up for open forum?
No, sir, we have no participants.
Thank you.
Okay, then we'll go to item 5A.
Yes, sir. 5A1, presentation by the Burton McCumber Longoria LLP on Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1, 2021 financial audit, 2021 single audit, and 2021 annual comprehensive financial report. They're online via Zoom or?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge, can you hear us?
Yes.
Is that, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Judge, members of the board, my name is Ricky Longoria with Burton McCumber and Longoria BML. We are here today to present the audit report for the year ended December 31st, 2021. With me today is Luis Lopez. He was the manager in charge of the actual completion of the audit, working with management. And so he will be the one presenting the audit report to the board this morning. So Luis, I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to you.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Again, my name is Luis Lopez. I'm a manager here with Burton McCumber and Longoria. I don't know exactly what you have in front of you, but I'm going to start with a letter, a 3-page letter that is called the governance letter that is dated June 27, 2022. This letter is communicates to you that we did audit the financial statements of the governmental activities, each major fund, and the aggregated remaining fund information for Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1. It also confirms to you that the audits were performed in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards, government auditing standards, and this year, which is different, the uniform guidance. The reason why it's different this year, the Drainage District did expend federal funds in excess of the threshold that would trigger a single audit. So there was a single audit in 2021, and that is why this year the uniform guidance was applicable. The letter goes on to communicate to you that management is responsible for the selection of the accounting policies. These accounting policies are included in the notes to the financial statements on Note A. In these financial statements, as in any other financial statements, there are items that include management estimates. The most significant estimates for the Drainage District include the allowance for uncollectible property taxes, which are based on historical collection levels, the estimate for the pension and OPEB liabilities. These are based on actuarial valuations, and an estimate on the useful lives of capital assets, which in turn affect the depreciation expense taken each year. The letter communicates to you that we did not encounter any difficulties with management in performing our audit. There were some adjustments posted throughout the audit process. There are no uncorrected misstatements as they relate to these financial statements. There were no disagreements with management as they relate to any financial, accounting, or auditing matter. And we did receive a management representation letter at the conclusion of our audit, and that letter was dated June 27th, 2022. To our knowledge, there were no consultations with any other auditors regarding any accounting matters or obtaining a second opinion on any of the information included on this report. That's pretty much I am going to cover on this letter. If anyone has any questions on that letter, I can answer those now before I jump into the audit report itself. Okay, not hearing any. I'm going to start off on page 7. I would like to congratulate the staff for the Drainage District as they did receive the Certificate of Achievements for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the year ended December 31st, 2020. Despite the challenges with COVID-19, with the uncertainty around that time, during the time that the audit was being conducted and the report was being prepared, the district managed to complete the report timely and meet all the requirements for transparency that allowed them to obtain this award The 2021 report was also completed timely. It was submitted to the Government Finance Officers Association for consideration for this award. And we do expect and believe that the report met all the requirements as well. So we're hopeful that they'll receive the award again for the year ended December 31st, 2021. Jumping into our audit opinion, this is on page 13. This may look a little bit different than in prior years due to the issuance of a new auditing standard that calls for additional clarity and transparency. So whereas in prior years, we would ask to flip into the second or third page to see what the auditor opinion was on the financials, now the auditor opinion is the first paragraph on this letter. So consistent with prior years, the Drainage District did receive an unmodified opinion, which is a clean opinion. And again, that's consistent with what the Drainage District has received in prior years. I won't go through the rest of this letter, but I do encourage you to read through it. It outlines what management's responsibilities are as they relate to the financial statements, auditors, and it also outlines the various sections of the report, what has been audited and what is not audited. Next, jumping right into the financial statements, and I intend to do a big picture overview. If you turn to page 28, this is your balance sheet for your governmental funds. Probably the most important number on here would be your unassigned fund balance and your general fund. So if you go into the general fund column, go all the way to the bottom, the third number from the bottom is your unassigned fund balance. At December 31st, 2021, your unassigned fund balance was $18,476,750. Based on the size and the operations of the Drainage District, that is considered to be a very healthy fund balance. I did go back to see the previous 5 years to get the average on where you're at on your unassigned fund balance comparing to previous years. And on the 5-year average, it's pretty much spot on. You did have a year where you were at 2.2 million. You had a year where it dipped down to 6.5 million. But on an average, it was pretty much spot on to where you're at today. Focusing on your general fund, I won't speak too much on the capital projects funds, other than to say that these funds, the purpose of these funds is to track where you're at with your bond proceeds as it relates to ongoing projects. And so if you wanted to see how much of each bond issuance is left for ongoing projects, you would look at towards the bottom of the page, your restricted fund balance for capital projects. And in essence, that is your unspent bond proceeds, the amount of money from those respective bonds that are left to spend. Won't touch very much on your debt service funds. All these funds do is collect property taxes and make the payments on the debt. So with that, I will move on to page 32, which is the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance for the governmental funds. Again, mainly focusing on the general fund. And if you wanted to see how the Drainage District did for the year, looking at that general fund column, the third number from the bottom is your net change in fund balance. The Drainage District had an increase. The Drainage District had an increase in fund balance as compared to the prior year of $823,764. And again, capital projects funds, if you wanna, they're not good to look at the net change in fund balance because these are driven by by project expenditures, or if you issued bonds here, you'll notice you have a 2021, 2021A taxable bond series. So you have a huge increase in fund balance in those respective funds. All that is the proceeds from the bonds. As time passes on and those monies are expended for their intended purposes, which are capital projects, those fund balance will be depleted over time, and that's perfectly normal. That is pretty much all I have. I do encourage you all and the public. This report is over 165 pages. There's a lot of great information throughout the report. There is a section in the back that provides information from the previous 10 years, which is very useful to see what the trends are, where the drainage district has been and where they're going. So that's all I have as it relates
Are
to
there
the
any
financial
questions?
statements. I won't go into the single audit report, but I will acknowledge that, again, as I mentioned earlier, the drainage district did expend in excess of the $750,000 threshold that would trigger a single audit. And this was mainly due to the ARPA funds that the drainage district received from the county. There were no findings related to those federal awards that were audited.
Do the commissioners have any other questions? I have one question. Anybody have any questions?
Yes, sir.
I don't have a question, Judge, but just to comment, and that one very generic finding is a pretty big accomplishment for the massive organization like they have. So congratulations to Laura and to the entire drainage district. Thank you. Accounting staff.
Absolutely. My only question is this: we have $213 million, obviously, in various different projects or whatever. Did you have a chance to look at how they manage that liquidity?
You're referring to the cash
Yes,
and cash?
yes, and
Yeah.
investments.
Yes, sir.
And
So
just
I
a
think
quick-
that's something that the drainage
just a quick
district can look
answer,
at.
if you looked into
I
it.
will mention that included in cash and cash equivalents, a portion of that is invested in government investment pools. It's classified
where
as
they
cash and
invested.
cash
My
equivalents
question
due
is,
to
did
its
they properly
liquidity. There's no
manage-
restrictions for being able to move those monies out and to use them. And so for that reason, they're classified as cash and cash equivalents instead of investments. And I did have here a breakdown.
Luis,
Well,
the answer is a yes or no, that they properly manage their liquidity needs, their cash flow needs, if you looked into it.
yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Okay.
And that's it on that, Judge, and we just,
May we have a motion to accept the report?
yes, sir. That would be item C2.
So moved.
I'm sorry,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
A2, sorry.
A2, right?
Yeah, A2, I apologize. That was item A2. Yes, sir. If I may, I'll go to item B, this Drainage District Number 1 Annual Tax Collection Report 2021, 2022. Paul?
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. I see this gentleman very happy. I understand it's his birthday today, so
Yeah, happy
congratulations.
birthday.
Birthday.
Last one, another day in life.
Yes. Do you have, okay, there we go. Here's a report for the Hidalgo County Drainage District. If you look at that first page right there, under tax collections, the base amount for the current taxes, delinquent taxes, and rollback taxes, the base amount was $52,628,325.46. Under penalties and interest, $1,124,963.94. Attorney fees of $343,867.86, for a total collected for Hidalgo County Drainage District, $54,097,157.26. If you go to the next page, this is pretty much a disbursement of the attorney fees, commissions, and costs rendition penalties and fees, court orders, credits, current year refunds, prior year refunds, for a total disbursement of $54,097,157.26. On the recap for current tax collections, if you go to the middle section where it says current collections to date, last year's base amount for 2020, and 2021, last year's base amount, we collected $37,831,895.55. This year, base amount was $50,607,102.05. A total increase over last year, $12,775,206.50. If you look at last year's percentage was 95.11. This year's percentage is 95.21. The next, it's just a recap of the previous years, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. In 17, we had 94.26. 2018, 94.33, 2019, 94.21, 2020, 95.11, and 2021, 95.21. And the next report, it's just, if you go to the next page, no, the next one. Well, pretty much that's it. The other one's the delinquent tax report. I think we had a great year overall. Even though we did struggle a little bit with, shortage of staff and the COVID, people come in, a lot of the people are paying through internet. We've been pushing for that too, but I believe that overall, I think it was a great job for the drainage, so thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Sir, if I may, we can go to C2, discussion of the Alcoa Drainage District 1 proposed budget for 2023 calendar year. I have Ms. Laura Bjornes here, my CFO, just to kind of go over some of this stuff, but I'll just kind of briefly go over it. Any detailed questions she, I'm sure, can cover. So you heard the presentation already by our accountant team, or our outsourced team. So last year, we did have a fund balance, I guess, of $18,476,750. Less what we had to carry over from the previous years was $2,095,553, which gave us a unreserved fund balance for 2022 of $16,381,197. There was no increase to the budget revenues for 2022. Unexpended appropriations for 2022, we had $3,045,527. Projected unassigned fund balance, December 31st, 2022, District General Fund is $19,426,724. And for comparison, 2022 adopted budget for General Fund M&O was $23,277,750. The next page, we just have the carryovers that we had that I mentioned in the previous page. Personnel actions, minor reclassifications, some shredders, and then the 2021 purchase orders, which total of $2,095,553. On the third page, just going over the general fund for August 31st, 2022. We have a projected revenue for 2023 of $24,843,325. The 2022 adopted budget is $23,277,750. There are some budget increases that we're looking at. Personnel actions, health insurance, 6%, retirement, set the rate at 14.9, longevity, classification compensation pay plan, Hidalgo County collection fees that went up, Hidalgo County appraisal fees that went up as well, maintenance and operation, fuel equipment that we adjusted based on the costs and everything that we have going on. No new positions are being recommended by management. We're managing what we have right now. So the projected budget need for 2023 is $24,843,325. We're projecting a balanced budget at no impact.
Mr. Cecine, right now you're currently, maintaining how many miles? 600?
Right now, Commissioner, we're right over 601, but we're going to add another 100 just with the bond issuance that we have. We're already adding some. So by next year, we'll probably be over 700 of new miles, but then another 100 that are currently in that 100 that we're maintaining, we're widening. So it's going to be more shredding. And then we got the Restore Act in the following year, which in 2024, we'll be adding another 60-something miles. So in 2024, we'll be up to almost 780 miles approximately, and every day we work with the precincts to see what other districts, irrigation districts, we can take over and develop drainage projects and things like that, and that takes it interlocal. So yeah, but we continue to grow. As we've been doing this since 2015 very actively, so
You guys are doing a good job.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. There is no new positions I mentioned. There are some replacement of equipment and purchase that we have been doing since 2015, investing in our equipment. And we do have that summary there. It's $1.5 million, 1585534, which is heavy equipment and vehicles as well that we're investing in. I know he mentioned that the fund balance was down to $3 million at one time. Not since we've been at the district in 2015. The last average in 2017, our fund balance has been 17 million, 14.6, 17.2, 17.3, 16.6, and 19.4. And we do that obviously to have that operating capital, just because if we get hit with a heavy rain event, hurricane, whatever, we can operate that whole year basically without, having to miss a beat in everything that we're doing. We are vital to the community, we believe, as far as when it comes to, catastrophic events. So that 14 million that we dipped that year was because of the building that we invested in. So anything else? That's pretty much it. I mean,
Our debt service went up $1 million.
Okay.
Yes. We had an increase of $1 million in debt service, and, hopefully, even though we had the increase, we still were able to lower the tax rate a little bit. And as expected, I think we're going to have another high year, and then, we can just continue operations.
Awesome. Great job.
Thank you.
Jaime just reminded me too, it's not only the linear feet, we're going to take about another 500 acres of RDFs as well. So, this maintenance operation is very, very big. And that's just what we do maintaining wise. Obviously, we have a lot of construction work ongoing in-house and developing projects and things like that. Since 2015, the board has been gracious to allow us to do that in-house, and we've been very proud of the work that our teams do for the community. So,
Not only that, you're taking the lead on a water resource project.
yes, sir.
That has never been done in the state and or the nation before, so.
Yes, sir.
That's
We're
an
proud of that
exciting
one, very proud. As a matter of fact, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday about, what are you guys doing? And I brought it up to them. They're like, wow, I was not aware of that. In other areas, like in Monterrey, when they ran out of water, they're like, hey, what do you, so this is what we do. This is what we have coming. And we're like, wow.
Yeah.
So it's good. Yes. Very good.
All that Alabama training.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm proud of my education, I must say, Judge. We win games here and there, but, I'm proud of my education. Sorry.
Hey, wipe that smile off your face.
I'm sorry.
But it's your birthday, you get it.
Yes,
you get a
I know.
pass.
That's why I said it, because it's my birthday. If not, I would have been very quiet. Yeah.
All right?
Do we need a motion to approve the budget?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Motion to approve? Budget as presented?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Great, thank you. Item D, requesting approval to complete and submit a credit application agreement as required by Alamo Lumber Company to establish a district account for the purchase of fencing repair supplies, including but not limited to the other hardware supplies, and authority for general manager to sign credit application.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item E1, requesting approval to rescind action taken by the Board of Directors September 6, 2022. Agenda item 5F, agenda item number 87357.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And item 2 is to correct that action, requesting approval of change order number 3 reflecting a decrease of $92,562.86 and 30 additional construction calendar days in connection with contract number CACDD 1-21-011-0727 Cesar Chavez and Texan Road, Canton Road, Tower and Iowa Road drainage area improvements with Morewell LLC, as recommended project engineer, Mr. Omar Azaldua from my office.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item F, requesting authority to execute the one-year extension period as provided in the current agreement for fuel, gasoline, diesel, on-off highway with Gold Star Petroleum, Inc., contract number CACDD 1-21-042-0907, under the same rates, terms, and conditions effective September 28, 2022 through September 28, 2023.
Motion approved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item G, requesting approval of final archaeological surveying service contract number CACDD 1-2204300920 with Integrated Environmental Solutions LLC for archaeological surveying services main floodwater channel project number North Main Drain 1 to FM 491 Phase 1 as approved for negotiation by Board of Directors on agenda item A7347, 6/9/22 date, subject to legal review and compliance, House Bill 1295.
Motion to
Motion.
approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item H, requesting approval of final negotiated archaeological service contract number CACD 1-2204400920 with TRC Environmental Corporation for archaeological survey and services main floodwater channel project North Main Drain 1 to FM 491 Phase 2 as approved for negotiation by the Board of Directors on 9/6/22, agenda item A7338, subject to legal review and compliance, House Bill 1295.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
These are the two that we're doing in-house, Commish, that we're designing everything already, but we just got to get this archaeological as part of their environmental review that was required of it, so we're on schedule, so hopefully,
Hopefully by the end of the year.
yes, sir, we get these out of the way. Our design is, I would say our design is probably 80-90%, so we're doing it all in-house, so.
And that matters to everybody in the
Yes,
north
sir.
part of
Yes,
the
sir.
county, so it's good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Item I, recommended bid award and approval of contract to the responsible bidder meeting all requirements, specification RFP number ACDD 1-2204500907 AJL Sand Embedding Materials, subject to legal review and subject to compliance, House Bill 1295.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item J, requesting authority, excuse me, to advertise an approval of procurement packet, i.e. legal notice specification draft contract as attached here to for Dow Country District Number 1, purchase installation of chain link fence with gate, RFP number ACDD 1-22057110-12AJL, including the re-advertisement of the project in the event no bids are received and project is still required.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
By the way, this is our project that we're working together, partnership on the.
Oh, yes, on the,
On the countywide,
for the fencing.
yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Item K1, requesting exemption from competitive bid requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4 for professional engineering services.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 2, requesting authority of Dow Country District Number 1 to negotiate a professional engineering service agreement with L&G Consulting Engineers, Inc. for the provisions of professional engineering service for the project of Mile 6 Drainage Outfall Project from the district's pre-approved pool of pre-qualified professional engineers as approved by the Board of Directors on April 19, 2022, agenda item 85501.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 6A1, requesting approval of closing documents. If I may, I'm going to read all of 8, Judge. They're all closing documents.
Please.
Requesting approval of closing documents for parcel 2113 as it relates to project 21 of the 2018 Drainage Bond Program, Mile 10, Mile 1 West Project, and authority chairman of the board to execute documents subject to final legal review. Item 2, requesting approval of closing documents for parcel 2115 as it relates to project 21 of the 2018 Drainage Bond Program, Mile 10, Mile 1 West Project, and authority chairman of the board to execute documents subject to final review. And item 3, requesting approval of closing documents for parcel 2116 as it relates to project 21 of the 2018 Drainage Bond Program, Mile 10, Mile 1 West Project, and authority for the chairman of the board to execute documents subject to final legal review. Everything's in order. Recommend approval.
Motion to approve 6A 1 through 3.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'll do the same for B, sir. B1, requesting approval of closing documents for parcel 10A11 as it relates to project 10A, the 2018 Drainage Bond Program, East Mercedes, and authority of the chairman of the board to execute documents. In B2, requesting approval of closing documents parcel 10A12 as it relates to project 10A of the 2018 Drainage Bond Program, East Mercedes, and authority for chairman of the board to execute documents. In order, we recommend approval.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. C1, requesting approval supplemental agreement number 3 to professional engineering service contract CACD 1-19-019-0326 with Sames Inc. for the project FM 493 Country Road 2018 Bond Referendum Project 12 to reflect their revised Exhibit D work schedule with an extended termination date of October 27, 2022, subject to legal review and compliance to House Bill 1295.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And item 2, requesting approval supplemental agreement number 5 to work session number 1 of the professional engineering service contract CACD 1-19-019-0326 with Sames Inc. for the project FM 493 Country Road 2018 Bond Referendum Project number 12, reflect the revised period of service to end October 27, 2023, subject to legal review and compliance to House Bill 1295.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, requesting approval to purchase one CAT 323 amphibious excavator through the district's membership with PCA Cooperative with contract number OD 328-20 from Big D Tractor LLC, Blue Cat Rentals and Frontera Equipment, in an amount of $520,443.69 to be purchased from the 2019 bond series, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So this is the equipment, just for the board's, I guess, and the public's benefit. We're using this on top of water, basically, marshy water. That's why they're calling them amphibious. So, this is starting out at our outfall out there at our main drain. We're gonna be probably investing in more equipment like this, just simply because we have a lot of area we gotta cover outside. So this is probably first of a couple of more that we're gonna try to budget and find some funds to be able to do what we need to do out there. So, thank you for the board supporting that. One, approval of application for payment number 4 in the amount of $42,367.95 from Castle Enterprises LLC pertaining to construction contract CACD 1-21-050-01-11 wide drain improvements. Everything's in order. Recommend approval.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, I'll cover 2 and 3. I apologize. Approval of application permit number 2 in the amount of $530,459.42 from Moorwheel LLC pertaining to construction contract CACD 1-21-040-10-05 Anacuitas. And item 3, approval of application payment number 2 in the amount of $33,123.37 from Gonzalez Engineering pertaining to construction contract CACD 1-21-023-0727 Mission McAllen Radar alternate phase 1. Everything's in order. Recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 7.1, approval application payment number 15 in the amount of $25,136.25 from Castle Enterprises LLC pertaining to construction contract CACD 1-20-02-02-11 Mission Inlet Balboa drainage improvements. And item 2, approve application payment number 5 in the amount of $116,316.37 from Chlor Equipment LLC pertaining to construction contract CACD 1-22-001-0308 Alamo Expressway drain. Everything's in order. Recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. Say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Right-of-way acquisition, item 8A, requesting approval of closing documents parcel E1 as it relates to Encore Ranch Subdivision Stormwater Improvement Project, and authority of chairman of the board to execute documents. And item B, requesting approval of closing documents parcel 15 as it relates to TxDOT FM 1925 Monte Cristo Road Expansion Project, and authority of the chairman of the board to execute documents subject to final legal review.
Motion to approve.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Commissioner Order, that's that 8A that we did the in-house design. We're ready to go to construction. We'll be getting with county on that to advertise that.
I believe that concludes all our agenda items. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion made.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
And I want to call the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting to order. We'll start with a roll call to establish quorum.
Good morning, David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Godu, Precinct 2.
Everardo Villarreal, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4?
Rich Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum. Today, we're proud to have Mr. Samuel Pettis Jr. He served in the U.S. Air Force between 2002 2010. He achieved a rank of Staff Sergeant. He served as a member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars and American Legion. He's a member of the Texas Veterans Commission Advisory Board Committee. He's president of the Veterans County Service Officers Association of Texas and is our new Director of Hidalgo County Veteran Services. Would
Thank you,
please
Judge.
lead us in our pledge?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Sergeant. Thank you for your service. Today, we're being led in our prayer by Mr. Faustino Lopez. He is the Director of Community Supervision and Corrections Department. He will lead us in today's prayer.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Let us pray. God, as we gather here for this meeting, may we be guided in all that we say or do by a strong sense of your presence. May the proceedings in which we engage and the people we greet give us joy that encourages us, revives us, and adds meaning to our lives together. And grant us the wisdom to seek the virtues of faith, hope, and charity. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you.
Next is we have the approval of the consent agenda.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, I'd like to pull from consent agenda item 10A 1 and 2.
Make a motion to approve the rest.
Second.
Before we do that, the auditors made some comments on 12B4 and 12B5. Are those resolved? Subject to,
Yes, Judge, they would all be subject.
okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Judge Commissioners, with respect to consent agenda item 10A, 1 and 2, for the record, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and/or action. With that being said, all is in order.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let the record show Commissioner Fuentes abstained from any action or discussion of those items. Next, we have item 5A.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Agenda item 5A, proclamation declaring September 2022 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas, childhood cancer is the leading cause of death by disease in children, and whereas 1 in 285 children in the United States will be diagnosed by their 20th birthday, and whereas 46 children per day, or 16,790 children per year, are diagnosed with cancer in the U.S., and whereas there are approximately 40,000 children on active treatment at any given time, and whereas the average age of diagnosis is 6 years old compared to 66 years for adults' cancer diagnosis, and whereas 80% of childhood cancer patients are diagnosed late and with metastatic disease, and whereas healthcare professionals work diligently dedicating their expertise to treat children with cancer, and whereas too many children are affected by this deadly disease, and more must be done to raise awareness and find a cure. Now therefore, be it proclaimed that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby declares September 2022 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month and encourages the public to observe Childhood Cancer Awareness Month by supporting a cause that so deeply impacts families in every community across our country. Approved this 20th day of September 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, I also have Ms. Annabelle Arellano, Director of Oncology and Patient Services for DHR Health, with a couple of words here.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the County of Hidalgo for allowing DHR to be here today. You want me to bring it down? There we go. Thank you. It is a great honor to be in front of your community. We are very happy to be a part of this community and to be able to talk about the importance of early detection and prevention. There are so many lives that can be saved with prevention and early detection. We want to thank DHR Health for doing such a great job in bringing over 70-plus specialties to the Rio Grande Valley, ensuring that our patients don't have to leave their community. It's great to see what we are doing in this community and how we're treating patients. Thank you once again. We look forward to helping you and your constituents.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Take a picture. Next, we have a proclamation declaring September as National Deaf Awareness Month.
Hi, good morning, Judge and Commissioners. If everybody who is here for Deaf Awareness Month can come up and stand beside me, that would be great, including the County Clerk's Office. Item 5B, proclamation declaring September as Deaf Awareness Month. Whereas the deaf population includes a wide range of individuals, from those who are born profoundly deaf and use American Sign Language, ASL, as a primary means of communication, to those with a degree of hearing loss who use hearing aids or other forms of amplification and communication modes. And whereas the purpose of Deaf Awareness Month is to increase public awareness of the issues and the culture of people who are deaf, and whereas this is an opportunity to promote equal access to information and services for deaf individuals and to educate the public about the misconceptions of being deaf, and whereas it is also an opportunity to learn about the types of educational programs, support services, and resources available in Hidalgo County for the deaf and hard of hearing community, like the ones that our local Deaf and Hard of Hearing Center provide, DHHC, which is also in attendance with us. And whereas we celebrate Deaf Awareness Month to provide the opportunity to highlight the importance of equal access to members of our communities who are deaf, hard of hearing, or experiencing hearing loss. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby declares September as Deaf Awareness Month and encourages community leaders and businesses to foster opportunities for persons with disabilities so that they are better able to participate in our community and workforce. Approved this 20th day of September 2022.
Motion approved.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
At this time, we will see a video that Jackie Trevino produced. We have our county clerk's office, Mr. Arturo Guajardo. He's hired an individual who is deaf, and so this video will portray a life in Greg's, a day in Greg's life.
Good morning.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gregorio Mata, and my role here is Deputy County Clerk at the Hidalgo County Courthouse.
Gregorio Mata joined the county clerk's office on April the 20th, 2021. It was just like hiring anybody else. You know, he applied, and during the interview process, we said, well, there's going to be a challenge. So we ended up using an iPad to interview him, and he answered the questions just like everyone else. The team was very impressed with him, and so we ended up selecting him.
My role includes supporting civil court matters. I assist lawyers, probate courts. I make sure the papers are filed, and we follow through with the process for the courts. I also act as a liaison with other agencies, and I make sure the paperwork flow is continuous. When I first interviewed, I thought, I don't think I'll get the job. But the person who interviewed me believed I was capable of being successful here.
Well, immediately there was a challenge, right? There's the communication barrier. And then what happened was that we had a person in our office that knew sign language, so that helped. We brought her in, and she helped out a little bit, and we started asking him, well, what kind of tools would you require to better accommodate you? And he was very enlightening. He knew a lot of sources of resources that we could use to help him out.
I tend to communicate through Google Chat or email, but I also have a video phone, which is a video reply service.
Hi, Greg. I was wondering if you would be able to help me with the citation.
With that service, I get an interpreter that is a hearing person that can speak English or Spanish. So if that person is speaking Spanish, they have interpreters that are readily available that are trilingual. So the facilitation is great. The camaraderie is great. It's been a great experience here.
Having him around and his coworkers noticing that he is a deaf person and is being able to do the work that everybody else is doing has been kind of neat. This young man, his resume spoke for itself. He showed a lot of leadership roles in his university, and that's what I would challenge everyone else to try to do. If he looks good on paper, by all means, give them a chance. You know, it's just added some diversity to our workforce. It's open to everyone. If you can do the job, you know, you're welcome to come join our team.
It really means a lot to me. To have the county clerk's office give an opportunity to a deaf employee to work among a hearing population has really made an impact because it shows that deaf and hard of hearing people can do anything. We're not low level, we are equal and have access to everything. Deaf people can do anything that hearing people can do. So this environment here, this office has given me the chance to show my capabilities. It's an example to all others who have this disability, and I hope we will continue to grow in diversity. It has really impacted and touched me to be able to work for the county.
At this time, I will invite Mr. Guajardo, our county clerk, to come up and say a few words.
Thank you. And thank you, Jackie, for that video. Didn't she do a good job with that? Yeah, I don't know if she's here. But she really was able to capture, I think, at least in my opinion, Gregorio's story with regards to his employment there at the county clerk's office. So the only thing I'd like to add to that is that I'm not sure if there's any other department within this county that has a deaf person on their staff. But if they don't, and if the opportunity comes around where they interview and they meet the qualifications, I say by all means give them the chance. You know, you might be a little intimidated initially, but there are infinite amount of tools out there that are going to facilitate that barrier. And before you know it, you won't even realize that he is or she is a deaf person. But it's been a real blessing for us and enlightening for our team to have Gregorio as part of our staff. And he's doing a great job, by the way. So I would encourage anybody else out there to do the same and give them an opportunity. Thank you for your time this morning. Yes, Judge. Go ahead.
The person right to the right of you is in our department, and she also is deaf, and we're great. It's great to have her. They do a great job for us.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm glad to hear.
That's Felicia Clare.
Are we done? You want to take a photo?
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay, the next one, we have one declaring September the 25th, National Day of Remembrance of Murder Victims. Victor? Is there a reason why we have it so far in the back?
I'm not sure. Until everybody settles in a little bit. Yes. Oh, sure. Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Agenda item 5C, proclamation declaring September 25th National Day of Remembrance for Murdered Victims. Whereas the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims is commemorated each year on September 25th, and whereas the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims gives us all the opportunity to remember those lost to homicide and honor their memories. The purpose of this remembrance is to focus on the impact of murder on families, communities, and ways to support and serve survivors. And whereas honoring the memory of victims who have been killed by violence and acknowledging the resulting long-term trauma for families and communities in Texas and the nation is an essential way of promoting public awareness and remembering loved ones. And whereas support groups are encouraged for survivors of homicide and community members to gather, remember, and share about their loved ones. And whereas survivors of homicide victims need specific and targeted intervention in the aftermath of the homicide, which starts with the death notification and goes far beyond the burial, and in some cases the jury trial, leaving a lasting impact on any person regardless of age, national origin, race, creed, religion, gender, sexual orientation, immigration, or economic status. Now therefore, be it proclaimed that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby declares September 25th, 2022 as a National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims in Hidalgo County. We honor the work of organizations that provide services including support, advocacy, counseling for families, individuals, and communities coping with homicide-related deaths. And we remember the victims and their families. Approved this 20th day of September, 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. What can we say about the tragedies that you all have experienced?
I'd
We're
like
here
to-
to honor those that we lost.
I'd like to invite our Hidalgo County District Attorney, Mr. Ricardo Rodriguez, for a few words.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Again, thank you again for having us here. And as you can see, you have some individuals here who support this organization that Mr. Garcia heads, and has done a good job with the families that obviously, like you just heard, have gone through a lot of trauma, not just yesterday, but today and also in the future. And a big component in bringing justice to the families and to those who were murdered and lost their lives is victim services. It's a key component in helping all these individuals who are here and helping them in so many ways. And you all have been a big part of that. The judge and commissioners, the county has been a big part of giving that support to these families who are here and giving us also the support of the DA's office to do all that we can to be able to bring that justice for the families. It's difficult. You know, a lot of times we have families, again, who are going through a lot of trauma. Sometimes the communication is difficult there, but we have advocates in our unit, as well as Mr. Garcia's organization, that all we have to do is listen to them, to their needs and what they're wanting, and understand, you know, what the trauma is. And we try to do that as hard as we can, as much as we can. We try to understand that. And again, the prosecution is a key component, but victim services also is a major component in bringing justice to families. So again, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I want to thank my advocates who are here, who have done a good job, you know, with a lot of the families that you see here. And some couldn't make it today, but our advocates do a good job of trying to have that communication and holding their hands and explaining to them the process as best as they can and helping them throughout the process, especially when there's jury trials on these type of cases. So again, thank you, Judge, Commissioners, for the opportunity to be here. I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Garcia so you can say a few words. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Ricardo, thank you, Judge, Commissioners, for this opportunity. I just want to thank my families. Roger is my brother, was murdered on September 13, 2011. That's how I started the organization. I have another family member, Efraín Garcia, which is my dad's brother, Jolisa, Angel, Rebecca, Magdalena, Gerardo, Jerry, Julio, Agustin, and Roberto, families here with us. This is more than just a 5-letter grief that we talk about. 12 things that I have learned since my brother's murdered. There is no right or wrong way to grieve. You should never be ashamed to cry and show your affection. It is okay to be angry. Share your grief with your family members at all times. Find support outside your family. Sometimes your own family tells you to forget about your loved one, that they're in the gates of heaven with God. Extended family like us are the ones that pick up the pieces after the 12 days of mourning in our cultural, which is the 3 days of viewing and 9 days of rosary. On the 13th day, that's when we pick up the tragedy. The most surprisingly thing that I have learned is that love carries healing. Faith carries healing. You should never be ashamed to show your faith and love for the Lord. Things will never be easy. It might be just different of a new normal of living with the grief. It's okay to laugh. And it's okay to have the hope that tomorrow the sunrise will be bright again. So with that, I thank you for this opportunity. I thank my families, the judicial. The thing that I want to just convert to you all is that whatever choices you make in the court system, not in the prosecution aspect of it, is an impactful for us when we elected our judges. I have a family here, about 3 of them, that have had 5 to 8 DWIs. The system is failing us because on the 8th or on the 7th, they murder somebody. I don't know who to blame or who to ask to do better, but the system is it's affecting us in a that we can prevent those type of tragedies. We do a good job on prevention and education, but after the math of protecting our citizens and the incidents, I mean, we got to do a better job on that. And that's part of the policy change that we want to do nationally, state, and locally. But you as elected officials, you have a voice. We elected you by the will of the people to represent us, not represent just your population, but represent everybody, inclusive, just like we do with the death, just we do with cancer, just we do with everything else. So the challenge is to be open-minded. Don't see us as a disease, see us as a victims that we are. We lost a loved one that is very dear for us. And if you hear the cry on the Wednesdays that we have support meetings with the moms, if you're a dad and a mom, you will be impacted too. Don't wait until it happens to you to get involved. It's okay to be changeful. Judge, as a man of Christ, that you are a brother in Christ, I hope you can attend Sunday so you can see the love and the compassionate. You haven't attended since you were being a judge, and I challenge you with that. It's only take 2 hours. I need 30 minutes of your time just to be there if you can this Sunday. Or any members. I know Ms. Ellie has been there since day one. Eddie from you from the city of FAR. Every constituent that is here, you have victims in your constituents. So the challenge is for you to get there, see, not only because we see, we all talk about it when we see you with other activities, other communities, the immigrant communities, the other people that are it. You are very active, but you haven't been active with us as victims. And there's no shame, I'm not upset, but they see because they're voters too. They vote for you all. So having said that, Rene, thank you for, Ricardo, for your leadership. And hopefully the new DA, he's going to be a keynote speaker on this event. And hopefully he's the same mindful as you have been. You've been very loyal and dignified and compassionate to our families. And I thank you that and the staff that you have. And hopefully we can continue, brother, in the community as friends and as brothers in Christ as well. So thank you for your leadership all these 8 years that you've given us. God bless. To my families, continue the fight and continue being that voice. We will not be without putting any messages that are proper and for us to change. Thank you. God bless you all.
Can I count to 3, please? 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Belinda Reyes for Precinct 4. You ready?
Go ahead.
Okay, yes, sir. Item 5D, proclamation honoring UTRGV Department of Civil Engineering GeoWall team on a national championship title win. And we have today with us the Dean of Engineering, Dr. Ala Kavaj, some other representatives from the university and the students. So I'll go ahead and read the proclamation. Proclamation recognizing the UTRGV 2022 Geo Challenge National Student Competition winning team. Whereas the Geo Institute of the American Society of Engineers National GeoWall is the most competitive national student competition in the field of geotechnical engineering. The competition is held at Geo Congress, the largest international conference in geotechnical engineering. Whereas the GeoWall competition consists of designing and building a model mechanically stabilized earth MSE retaining wall using paper reinforcement taped to a poster board wall facing. The design should strive to need the least amount of reinforcement to support the retained soil and design loads. Whereas at the 2020 National GeoWall Competition in Indianapolis, UTRGV was among the 20 finalists that were invited to the conference to compete. This was UTRGV's first time competing in the GeoWall competition, and against all odds, they placed second, just shy 0.1 points out of 300 from the trophy. Whereas during the Geo Congress 2022 competition held in Charlotte, North Carolina, the 6-member UTRGV team brought home a national win this spring from the Geo Challenge competition. UTRGV is the first Texas team to win this trophy in the almost 20-year history of the competition.
All right.
Whereas UTRGV's, yes. Whereas UTRGV's Department of Civil Engineering was established 12 years ago and beat the other universities with well-established programs running hundreds of years. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby wish to congratulate and recognize the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley's College of Engineering and Computer Science GeoWall team and all other persons involved for the hard work and dedication in preparing for the national competition and bringing recognition to the region and the state of Texas. Approve this 20th day of September 2022. Request approval.
Motion to approve?
We have a motion second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations. What a great achievement.
Dr. Ala Kavash is going to, he's the dean of the college, will be speaking, and then followed by one of the students.
Thank you, Belinda. Thank you to the Commissioner's Court. And I'm really proud of our talented students. And many of you have been part of building our education here in the Rio Grande Valley. When we went to the people in Austin asking them that we need, in the 90s, probably the judge and many of you remember, that we need an engineering program right here in the Rio Grande Valley, they were questioning if our kids can do it. And guess what? Our kids are not only doing it, they are doing it better than anyone else, and they are outperforming students in any part of the country and in the world. This is a national competition. The first place in the nation, the first group to win this national championship in the state of Texas. So those amazing students are bringing recognition not only to Hidalgo County, not only to the Rio Grande Valley, to the state of Texas and to the nation. And I want to tell you, this would not be possible without the support from our amazing community. I know Richard Cortez have been a great champion for education and for engineering, Commissioner Cantu, Commissioner Fuentes, Commissioner Villarreal, and of course, Commissioner Torres, who has a daughter who's an engineer. So we have special. So this is amazing. So thank you. We wouldn't be able to do it. We have a great community of engineers in the Rio Grande Valley. We would not be able, and the students would not be able to do this without the support. And I have some of them with me here. I know Heriberto and Ken. Could you please raise your hand if you are one of the community engineers? Thank you for your support. And without our amazing faculty and staff who mentor those students and supported them. So can you please raise your hand if you are one of our faculty and staff? We have here Dr. Pham, Dr. Vu, I know Lisa. Yeah. Yes, and above all, actually, we won't be here today without those talented students. Ashley, raise your hand. She's the captain. We have Patricia. We have Liam. Liam, raise your hand. We have Jesse, and we have Cesar. So those amazing students are not only the future of Hidalgo County. They are the future of the state and the future of our nation. And I want to ask Ashley, because they are the best part of this, to say a few words to you. She is the captain of the team, and they made us very proud. Ashley, please come forward.
Hi, thank you. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank the community here and all the faculty at UTRGV for supporting us and really just making it possible and just being very involved. I want to thank, of course, Dr. Vu and Dr. Pham, who are advisors, who really allowed us the freedom to practice and to do what we needed to do to be the best. And most importantly, to our team, because if it wasn't for their commitment and consistency to practice for months, we wouldn't be national champions. So thank you, guys.
Our drainage district is now accepting applications.
photos. First one. 1, 2, 3. Now, Judge Cortez, what are you missing? We did it last time. Visa. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cool, thank you.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. Okay, we're going to move to open forum. Oh, we have one more proclamation? I'm sorry, that's right.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Hilda Salinas, Interim Elections Administrator, here to present the proclamation. Proclamation declaring September 2022 as Valley Voter Awareness Month. Whereas the framers of the Constitution established the United States as a representative democracy that relies on civic engagement. And whereas, as a fundamental element of effective democracy, it is a principle that all eligible citizens should participate in fair and open elections. And whereas the Rio Grande Valley has had historically low voter turnout and voter registration, which lags the state average. And whereas the active voter participation is vital to our community and residents' well-being. This participation brings access to funding and resources to our community. And whereas, in order to reach those who have not fully embraced their rights and responsibilities as citizens, the community must expand opportunities for voter education, nonpartisan voter registration. Vital contributions in the regard can be made by grassroots organizations, by the media, by educational, cultural, and religious institutions, and by other entities in both the public and private sector. Now therefore, be it proclaimed that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby declares September 2022 as Valley Voter Awareness Month and calls upon the residents of Hidalgo County to participate in Valley Voter Awareness Month activities in order to promote voting and voter registration programs. Approved this 20th day of September 2022.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Of course, voting is important. Thank you for all.
Thank you, thank you. And of course, without a doubt, there is no greater power than the right to vote. We encourage residents of the Rio Grande Valley and Hidalgo County to make their voice heard, register to vote, and be a Valley voter. So here with us today is Carlos Martinez. He's the Director of Advocacy Alliance Center of Texas ACT, who would like to say a few words.
Hi, good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you so much for year after year supporting us with Valley Voter Awareness Month. It really makes an impact in our community. Currently, we're doing a lot of efforts with high school students, college students, and when I meet with the students, many of them are intimidated about the process. So it's very pivotal that we pretty much promote this type of awareness. The partnership that we have with Hidalgo County has always been great. They support us fully with our deputies, through our efforts. But we always like to see when a student and somebody in the community votes for the very first time. And that's why we concentrate a lot of our efforts in September, leading up to the elections in November. And so that's the goal. The goal that we can register as many people as we can, prepare them before the deadline. And once again, thank you so much for supporting us year after year with this effort.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also here with us today are several Elections Department voter registration employees who are the heart of elections as their department maintains the Hidalgo County voter registration database. So we have Nancy Carr. We also have Jenny Renteria. We have Sabrina Gonzalez. Where's Sabrina? She's behind me? Oh, over here. And Ayaneli Rodriguez.
So just so you'll know, we also have part of the voter registration staff out at the McAllen Public Library right now conducting a voter registration drive as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Recess the meeting, open the workshop, get the workshop out of the way real quick.
Okay, we need to have the public hearing for the healthcare first? Yes, after this.
Just write it in a little piece of paper. Go to this now.
16F1, yes.
Okay, bear with us. We're going to skip to item 16F1.
I'll get back to you. Comments? I'm sorry, what item was that?
15F1.
16 or 15?
I'm sorry, 16F1. I do want to open up the public hearing to consider public comments concerning the mandatory payments required to be paid by paying hospitals for the district fiscal year 2023. Is anyone here to address us regarding this matter? Hearing none, I close the public hearing.
Mr. Olivares, is there any subsequent action after the public hearing?
Yes, Judge, Commissioner, good morning. There is under item F, 2B, there's some items here. I'd like to read that, sir. Item B is consideration and approval of the mandatory payment to be assessed quarterly by Hidalgo County Health Care Funding District on the net patient revenue of institutional healthcare providers and how the revenue derived for those payments. Sir, as you know, this is part of the local provider participation fund that was enacted several sessions ago under Senate Bill 1623. And the law states that no more than 6% of the net revenue generated by the local hospitals could be assessed to be looked at to get this fund for the intergovernmental transfers for the hospitals. The funding for this is generated by the hospitals based on their annual revenue from 2020 up to 6% net patient revenue is $1,653,439,349. And the 6% would be that the county could collect up to $99,206,361. And that money would be used to for intergovernmental transfer to assist with the hospital services or hospital-based services for our indigent care funding and support of indigent in our community, along with services provided to low-cost or no-cost hospitalization in our community, sir. And again, that is how it is determined for that funding. So that's item number B, sir. So that is just so I made the Commissioners Court aware of how the money is generated. You may want to take action just for the record.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C is consideration and approval, Hidalgo County Tax Assessor Collector to collect the mandatory payment required by Hidalgo County Health
Care Funding District.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Consideration and approval to assess the mandatory payment annual rate at 6%, as indicated by state legislation, up to 6%. And I'd like to recommend that action to be taken.
So move as recommended.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And sir, item here E is considering approval to set the quarterly assessment dates. Assessment dates are first quarter, November 30th, 2022. Second quarter, February 28th, 2023. Third quarter, May 31st, 2023. And the fourth quarter, August 31st, 2023.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, so those are the items for this area here. I have
Go
three
ahead.
more items under the funding district, if we'd like to take action on those, sir.
Yes, go ahead, Eddie.
Item 2, discussion and consideration for approval to draw down funds for demonstration year 11 of uncompensated final payment in the amount to be determined by the Texas Health and Human Services Commission. Instructions for the Local Provider Participation Fund, the LPPF, with transfer date of September 29, 2022, and a settlement date of September 30th, 2022. We are to receive the actual amount from the state on the 23rd of this month, which is in 3 days, but we need to take action there today. We will work hand in hand with the auditor's office to make sure that all this is done. There is $18 million in that account, so therefore it will not exceed the $18 million based on how the state of Texas determines that to be.
Motion approved.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Approval, next item is approval certification of revenue certified by county auditor for the LPPF and the amount determined by the Texas Health and Human Services Commission. Final instructions are coming in on the 23rd. We will work with the auditor's office and budget office to work on that.
Motion approved.
Second?
We have a motion second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And item C is approval of appropriations of funds from the local provider participation fund in the amount determined by Health and Human Services Commission. Its final instructions were due on the 23rd. And in general, so there is no impact to general fund on this at all.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Sir, I will wait for the agenda to get to the health department items and accordingly.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you.
We're ready to move to open forum.
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay, open forum.
Judge Commissioners, before we start open forum, I'd like to remind the public that they're always welcome to participate in public forum. They need to be familiar with the rules of decorum, which prohibits direct and indirect personal attacks on members of the court or any county individuals. The comments made should also pertain to county business and cannot be threatening in nature.
Buenas tardes. Me gustaría recordarle al público que siempre serán bienvenidos a participar en el foro abierto. Tienen que estar familiarizados con las reglas de decoro que prohíben ataques directos o indirectos a miembros de la Corte o cualquier otro individuo del condado. Los comentarios deben pertenecer a los asuntos del condado y no pueden tener amenazas o de cualquier naturaleza. Gracias.
Thank you, sir. We do have some participants. Judge, our first participant is Ms. Fern McClarity.
How many do we have?
We have four, I'm sorry. Ms. McClarity, there is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there was 1 minute, and I will start when you start.
I don't know if you consider this an attack on anyone, but I have questions. Valdi, I've called your office in the last couple of weeks twice and left messages, and I never received a call back. So my question here today is what I was going to ask him. Our Hidalgo County Health Authority Administrator, or whatever you call him, he has no bedside manner. I just thought I'd let y'all know. And my question is, does taxpayers pay him? And if they do, if he's getting money from the taxpayers, he needs to be more polite. He doesn't have to kiss anyone's ring, but to be polite in public or in any school or city meeting. Second, today there was an individual, and I understand a couple of weeks, they've been a few minutes late. Today, the gentleman was 2 minutes after 10. The parking lot is packed. I don't know if he is parked 2 blocks away, as I am, but that's a long walk to get here. You didn't start Commissioners Court till 10:15. So my thing is, when you start court, that should be the deadline, and not allowing, and depending on how full it is, because like I say, we have to walk from blocks. So I'd like you to check on these 2 things, if you will. And then today, I saw in the paper where the FAR EMS, I believe, is losing money. Precinct 3, I believe that the county had asked you to get all these little cities to help them. It looks like now they're in more trouble. And I'm going to tell you 2 stories. Years ago, my son was in a car crash and broke his femur. And there was an ambulance service in Edinburgh, and I thank God they are no longer in business. But they had my son on a gurney. They couldn't even get him on the gurney. The Edinburgh Fire Department and myself had to put my son up on there. We waited for the ambulance to take him to the hospital for a piece of tape that long to put on that brick block thing so they could take off. Again, thank God for the Edinburgh Fire Department. My husband was in the hospital this last year. It's been a year. And I called an ambulance service. I called Medcare. And they were at the hospital on my calling to get my husband before the doctors were finally going to transfer him. He was dying at that hospital. And I got that ambulance. It was downstairs before the doctors had called for it. So I don't understand what the problem is. You're checking 2 companies. I'm hoping that you do a background check. How about have the FBI, which is kind of iffy, to do a background check, or the DPS or the county, because there's a problem with one of them, and I'm hoping that you have checked on it. What kind of serious is these are 2 companies that are not owned here in the valley, I don't believe. But my thing is, are you putting the public safety out there because of what's going on with the county ambulance services? If it is, shame on y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next presenter is Mr. Gilbert Ortiz. Mr. Ortiz, there's a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there is 1 minute, and I will start when you start.
I'm here to give you feedback as the Board of Directors over the Drainage District Director. He was here a while ago. I had dealings with him and Eli Torres, and I feel I have credentials to come and speak effectively with these professional people, and highly professional they are. And they have a great staff. I was once the head of the entire Workforce Solutions for Hidalgo County. I was on the Planning and Zoning Commission for the City of Edinburgh for 5 years. I graduated cum laude from Pan American with a business degree. I was a design engineer for a major corporation. So I was asked to represent some residents on Cesar Chavez between 107 and Richardson Road. I do it voluntarily. I'm very close friends with the people that live there on several of the plots. And I felt that I could use my background and having a close friendship with one of Mr. Raul Cecine's closest, most sacred family members. But I come to find out it doesn't matter how well you speak. It doesn't matter whose name you drop. When you go into the Drainage Director's office, you will be treated with respect, professionalism, but you'll be put on the list. And when I went to Eli Torres and I got to meet members of her staff, they were very attentive, very receptive. They took notes, they listened, they represented me well, they coordinated with Mr. Cecine, and we took this case to the point where it's very near completion. The preparation, the planning, the coordinating, all that is settled. We only have to work with the residents who I represent to get it completed. So may I say that Eli Torres and Mr. Raul Cecine and his assistant Jaime Salazar, that guy over there, are real go-getters. From Eli Torres' staff, you have Joe Ochoa, Tony Forina, George Gutierrez, and a great receptionist named Yvette. There's only one thing I would, oh, by the way, I met Martin Carrasco of your staff, a great ambassador that speaks very well for your organization. He makes you feel at ease, he listens, and he gives you great advice. But I would caution you one thing about Raul Cecine. After a meeting, if you dare do what I did, which bring up the University of Alabama football team, he's liable to close the door, keep everybody in there, make them stand up while he sings the University of Alabama football team alma mater. If Nick Saban, the coach, ever has an opening for an assistant, we're going to lose a drainage director to the University of Alabama football team. Thanks to everybody for doing a great job.
Thank you. Our next presenter is Mr. John Shergold. Mr. Shergold, there is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there is 1 minute, and I will start when you start, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. It's always an honor to come over here to Hidalgo County. I've been practicing law in Cameron County for about 27 years, and I came over here to brag on somebody today, my client, Teresa Flores, who's the executive director of Head Start. I wanted to come over here and brag on her because she deserves it. One of the things I want to show the Commissioners Court is this is 19 years of evaluations. Everything in here is excellent and outstanding. She's done outstanding service. I don't think anyone can say anything different. The issue that we got here I want to just make the honorable commissioners aware is that there's some talk about the county commissioners don't have any authority over what the policy council does. Of course, policy council, the folks that basically are in charge of steering the Head Start program. I wanted to just go ahead and show the Head Start program governance policy. And it's in here, it says that you are referred to as the governing board, and that decisions, and I'm looking at 45 CFR 1301 of the federal regulations, it says here that the governing board you're supposed to be collaborating, making decisions with the policy council and also the Head Start program. So I just want to make sure that you understand that. And also, we're here looking at the Hidalgo County policy book, which is, I guess, the Human Resources Department for the Hidalgo County Head Start program. But if you look at it, there's 4 billets in the back. It talks about Hidalgo County drug and alcohol policy, Hidalgo County absence control policy, Hidalgo County ethics policy, Hidalgo County sexual harassment policy. So there's complete information. Even in this book here, it says that the county's in charge, or at least has some controlling ability to make decisions. Because I understand that there's an item on the agenda today, 23D, I think it is, in executive session, and then you're going to be talking about my client. Thank you. I want to make sure that we understand that the reason that we believe that the board commissioners have this on the agenda is that you do have the ability to consider and make a decision. As a matter of fact, your policy indicates that if there's a disagreement between the county commissioners court and the policy council, under your own policy in the federal code of regulations, it says that you have a mandatory mediation process. In other words, if you don't agree to something, you can ask that the matter be put to a third-party arbitrator. It's right here in your policy. Also, it says that if a mediator can't make a decision or can't be made, then you go to an arbitrator. So I just want everybody here to understand, I'm here not to bury Caesar, but I'm here to praise Caesar. I'm not here to attack anyone. I'm not here to say anything. I'm just saying is that when you make a decision, let's make sure that it's an informed one. You do have the authority to enter into this decision making. And if somebody said something different, well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's why they put erasers on pencils. People make mistakes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Fuentes.
I just wanted to take a minute to thank all of the county staff and people that expressed their thoughts, concerns, and prayers and support to my family over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, it was a very difficult time, but that support and love that was expressed through many of the departments and many individuals was very, very helpful. So thank you to all of you for those continuing thoughts, prayers, and support. Our family very much appreciates it. Thank you.
We have no more participants, Judge.
Okay, we're going to move to item 10A and B.
Judge, Commissioners,
Please.
I think we need to put on the presentation. All right, okay. Okay, I'm here before you also on the Hidalgo County Annual Tax Collections Report. On that page right there, base amount for current delinquent and rollback taxes, we had a total of $240,344,677.19. Penalties and interest of $6,286,544.02. Attorney fees of $2,041,717.15, for a total collected of $248,672,938.36. If you look on your left-hand side, well, not yet, I want to go ahead and go also on there's the tax certificates, the miscellaneous, the NSF charges fees, the SI fines fees, street light fees are also included here. Hospital district funding that we collect for a total revenue of miscellaneous $108,918,679, for a total collected of $357,591,618.04. Okay, we go to the next page now. Okay, yeah, the disbursements are the attorney fees, rendition penalties, current year refunds, prior year refunds, for a total disbursed of $357,591,618.04. Next page is a recap of the current tax collections. If you look at the middle area where it says current collections to date, last year we had in base amount $211,804,282.25. This year, $228,923,925. We had an additional $17,119,642.88. And I want to attribute to this collections, there was the Hidalgo County was the first county in the state of Texas. There was the pilot program to assist the taxpayers through the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. There was approximately over $80-some million where the taxpayers could apply if they were affected by COVID in the years 19, 20, 21. It had to be their homestead. They had to be their homestead exemption in order to qualify. And of course, I want to thank the judge and Commissioner Squirt for helping us out to work with the taxpayers. And of course, one of the persons that was very instrumental in working with us was the Hidalgo County Community Service Agency Director, Jaime Longoria. Of course, the other ones that I want to also thank was Limebarger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson LLP, Ms. Lucy Canales, Kelly Rivera, and Michael Cano and their staff. They were very instrumental. They would contact me. We would decide what we were going to put on the tax statements. We mailed out thousands of tax statements informing the taxpayer that this money were available. And I believe through that effort, we did get close to about $9 million in collections. So still, I think there's funds out there for our taxpayers to apply. So they can always call our office and we'll give them the phone number where they can contact. I had an opportunity to visit with the taxpayer that went to my office that was having difficulties paying their taxes. This person here had a contact person in precinct 3 with Commissioner Villarreal. I was able to talk to them and explain, and I think that was great that you had somebody there to help them out. So I think overall, we had a great year. Last year's percentage was 95.22. This year was 95.34, 0.12% above last year. If you look at the next page, just to recap of the 5 years, the percentage of collection for 2007 is 94.41, 94.44, 94.31, 95.22, and today is 95.34. So thank you very much. I believe the delinquent attorneys are here so they can make their presentation. So thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for your good work.
Thank you.
Let's have the.
We have another item. I'm going to have Mr. Santos Castillejo, my motor vehicle director, just to give you an update, annual report on the motor vehicle side.
Okay. That's item 10B.
Yes. Good morning, Judge Commissioner Santos Castilleja, Motor Vehicle Manager, and I'm here to present to you the Statement of Revenue Collections for the Motor Vehicle Department. These collections are from the different motor vehicle transaction services the tax office provides. These transactions include initial registration of motor vehicles, registration renewals, vehicle title transfers, disabled plaque cards, temporary permits, exempt registrations, and specialty license plates. Next slide. In December 2021, 20,265 blue disabled plaque cards were issued, 911 combination plates, 2 cotton plates, 10 disabled motorcycle plates, 1,433 disabled person plates, 585 exempt double plates, 9 exempt motorcycle plates, 111 exempt single plates, 4 farm tractor plates, 768 farm trailer plates, 196 farm truck plates, 29 golf cart plates, 120 machinery plates, 3 moped plates, 12 motor bus plates, 1,433 motorcycle plates, 381 trip permits, 146,240 passenger and truck plates, 1 permit plate, 50,853 plate stickers, 36 bus plates, 2,715 red disabled placards, 67 seasonal ag permits, 2,560 token trailer plates, 73 tow truck plates, 2,248 travel trailer plates, 6,631 trailer plates, 624,655 windshield stickers, 283 144-hour permits, 19 30-day motorcycle permits, 3,226 30-day permits, and 137 72-hour permits. There were 866,015 different transaction types recorded for 2021, bringing in $232,998,732.88. The next slide. Next slide is the 2021 county collections. Registration and Processing Handling Commission totaled $1,823,791.40. The Sales Tax Commission for 2021 was $6,064,843.93. Total collections for Road and Bridge in 2021 generated $6,966,650. Total net registration commissions, including Road and Bridge, totaled $15,215,285.33. With 222,558 titles processed in Hidalgo County, an additional $1,112,790 was collected from title commissions. Next on there is miscellaneous collections, which include beer and wine commissions, totaling $206,297.25, NSF charge fees of $4,801.22, city scofflaw fees of $167,588.10, and the title service fees that generated $20,600. In 2021, our bank account earned $31,630.96 in interest. The county collections was $16,777,417.61, adding the RMA collections of $6,966,590 brought our total to $23,744,007.61, an 8.5 increase. Next slide. That's it. An additional $209 million was collected for the state of Texas. The majority of that was sales tax, totaling $154,872,728.84, followed by registration fees of $45,760,062.83, and the state inspection fee totaling $5,375,296.25. As mentioned earlier, the total amount collected at the motor vehicle office in 2021 was $232,998,732.88. This was $46,866,880.78 more in revenue collections than the year before. Next slide. As you can see from the graphs, our collections had a 25% increase in 2021, with county collections at about 8%. Next slide, please. Next slide. Hidalgo County had 684,405 vehicles registered in 2021, a 6% increase compared to 2020. The next slide is the report for the current transactions from the county, January through June of our current office, of a current year, I'm sorry. The current transaction total is at 435,138 with over 130 million in collections. Next slide. Key accounts include the registration processing handling fee commission at 37% more than this time last year, totaling 1,124,288.40. An increase in the previous year's sales tax awarded to us, a sales tax commission total of $7,807,308.66 for 2022, a 28% increase. Now, RMA and RMB, Road and Bridge and RMA collections show a decrease of about 3%, totaling $3,610,460. And title transactions are at 5% less than last year, bringing in $553,095 so far. We hope to make that up very soon. And next slide. It'd be sales tax collections are at 10% more, and overall current figures show that we are at 8% increase compared to last year. This concludes this presentation. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you very much for the report.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Roger, you ready to go item 21D?
Yes. Item 21D.
We're going to move to item 21D.
Judge, I do need to, give me 1 minute, please. So 21D, Judge, is the, is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding action taken by Hidalgo County Head Start Policy Council at a special meeting held on September 15th of 2022 regarding employment of Head Start Executive Director. Judge, Commissioners, for the record, this will be an acknowledgement that we did, or we received and acknowledged from the Head Start agency that on Friday, the county received notice of an action taken by the Head Start Policy Council at their meeting of September 15th, 2022, advising the county, that they had taken action to dismiss the executive director. So with that being said, Judge, Commissioners, we do have item 21D.
I move to acknowledge receipt of notice of the action taken by the Head Start Policy Council in their special meeting on September 15, 2022, regarding the dismissal of the executive director.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
What does that mean, Josie?
He's made a motion to acknowledge receipt of the action that was taken by Head Start. Like, what Valda just stated was that Head Start provided you all with notice of the action they took.
I got you.
Policy Council did.
So we're just acknowledging receipt? Second.
That's the action.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, I believe we're back to item 7A.
District Attorney's Office.
Good morning, Commissioners. Judge Rosalinda Cantu presenting for the District Attorney's Office. Item 7A, the DA Victim Coordinator and Liaison Grant, Fund 1281. We're asking for approval and authorization for the County Judge Richard F. Cortez as authorized official to sign the inventory report form.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
8A.
Judge, Commissioners, on behalf of the County Clerk's Office, we do have item 8A, requesting approval of official bond and oath for interim elections administrator Hilda A. Salinas. I do have a document in front of me that will be submitted. It is a public official's bond on behalf of or for Ms. Hilda Ann Salinas.
Motion to approve?
Second.
there's a question about requires corrections. Did we
I
take
think
care of that?
Those have been corrected, Judge.
All right. All in favor, we have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, during the open forum process, we did have an individual who has shown a disability, and so the court, we have taken and made accommodations. He is on the line. I apologize. When we went, we didn't see him on the call-in, but he is on the call-in right now. So I want to acknowledge the gentleman who's on the line. Ms. Cantu, could you please allow the individual to speak?
Yes, sir, will do.
Okay. There is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there is 1 minute, and I will start when you start.
Mr. Valde, can you go ahead and repeat the rules for him? I just admitted him in.
Okay? So there is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise you when there is 1 minute left, and I will start when you start.
Thank you very much. County Judge, Commissioners, my name is Jesus Mendoza. My phone number is 956-583-7012. I respectfully request your office to direct the Sheriff and Police Departments in Hidalgo County to investigate and refer for prosecution those who are provoking children to violence on the ground that prosecution of bullying as domestic terrorism can be a deterrent to this criminal activity, can prevent immense pain and suffering, and can save children's lives. I have been homebound for more than 10 years with a life-threatening electrosensitivity which was caused and aggravated by the same microwaves and radiation surveillance reaching children at school. Even low levels of radiation aggravate my EHS. I have been voluntarily ill several times. I'm sleep deprived and in pain all the time. This is a horrible way to die. My EHS has been recognized by federal and state agencies and by courts as a physical medical condition and as a disability. It is estimated that without knowing it, millions of children are suffering from EHS. A specific, concrete, and undisputed medical, scientific, and legal evidence on the record has proven that those in charge of educating and protecting our children committed fraud on the course to conceal, that the chronic, compulsory, and unnecessary exposures to microwaves and radiation surveillance at school are causing children EHS and other catastrophic, irreversible, and deadly harm and disabilities that defeat the purpose of education, to conceal that government-sponsored hate group bullying, which includes school officials, teachers, and students, are provoking children and the mentally disabled to commit mass shootings to justify, under the fabricated excuses of national security, the massive, powerful, and harmful military-grade safety and surveillance radiation technologies of schools and even of homes, and to conceal that under fabricated excuses of national security, the future of our children and the future of our country and national security are being sold to the trillion-dollar wireless, big pharma, and medical cartels, as detailed on the motion to recuse 3 federal judges on the request to Senator Roland Gutierrez.
1 minute.
And posted on the case law section of J. Mendoza at wirelesswatchblog.org, wirelesswatchblog.org, because even federal and state authorities are attempting to conceal these atrocities. Criminalizing bullying as domestic terrorism can save immense pain and suffering and can save children's lives. Your prompt attention to this matter is highly appreciated. A copy of the request to Senator Gutierrez is being submitted to your office. Thank you very much. Respectfully, Jesus Mendoza.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. Judge, Commissioners, I will communicate with Mr. Mendoza as part of our rules are that it pertain to county business. We do have a different process for open forum by way of participation in these matters. So I'll communicate with Mr. Mendoza.
Okay, we're back to item 9A.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Captain David Freeland, presenting for Hidalgo County Sheriff J.E. Eddie Guerra. Under Agenda Item 9A, requesting approval of Sheriff and Constable fee schedule for the year 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under 9B, notice of intent to obtain a Sam's Club membership and apply for a Sam's Club credit card for the sole use of commissary purchases.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under 9C, pursuant to Texas Local Government Code, Section 157.903, we're requesting approval of indemnification in the amount of $35.99 for misplaced inmate check.
So moved.
Motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And under 9D, Leo Technologies, we are requesting authorization and approval for Hidalgo County Sheriff to sign required documents to enter into agreement with Leo Technologies and Verus System.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you,
for your
Captain.
time.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, we do have a presentation by Bert McCumber and Longoria, and this is on our comprehensive annual financial report and single audit.
Judge, this is Ricky Longoria again. I'm hoping y'all can hear me all right. I am here today to present the December 31st, 2020 audit report for the county. And in case maybe you thought you misheard, this is the December 30th, 2020 report. The actual report was not completed until May of 2022. I know we met with Valde and the county auditors with respect to the reasons why the audit report could not be completed. As you know, and I mentioned this in the past, and the completion of any audit, the audit completion is really dictated by the flow of information and the amount of information and timeliness of that information, the quality of that information that we receive from the client. And unfortunately, due to a number of factors such as turnover within the county auditor's office, and just the inability to find accountants out there. This may be a shock to a lot of people, but there is a shortage of accountants within our community, if not within the state of Texas, and that is affecting really not just the county itself, but other governmental entities and businesses as well. The other thing that I will add that made the completion of the audit for December 31st, 2020 more challenging, if not, was just the amount of federal funds that flowed through the county during that year. Historically, the county has received approximately $100 million worth of federal state funding due to the federal government remitting CARES Act money to governmental entities. The county received over $200 million of federal monies during the year being audited. So that also led to difficulties in trying to complete the audit itself. Also, too, I did make reference to just the quality of the information that we were getting and trying to complete the audit. And I just wanted to give just a quick example. Typically, when we receive what we call a trial balance, the basis for which to start an audit, in order to get the process going forward, is always our hope and expectation that the client itself would make very little adjustments and just let the audit process kind of go on its way. For the December 31st, 2020 audit, we received a total of 410 adjustments after the trial balance was actually provided to us. And that I think just indication of again, just a lack of personnel within the county auditor's office and maybe other areas within the county that would require corrections and things of that nature to the books and records of the county. My final comment would just relate to this is that because the 2020 audit was not completed until May the following year, it was submitted late to the clearinghouse, and so that's obviously not a good thing. And so whereas historically the county had been able to get the GFOA certificate of achievement, this particular audit will not qualify. Certainly, with respect to the 2021 audit that we're working on right now, we have been meeting with the county auditor's office, and Valde has been part of those discussions. In fact, we're down to the point where we are having weekly meetings. In fact, we have one tomorrow to continue to get updates as to where the county is and trying to get us information to be audited. So enough of that point. I know Luis had gone in a previous meeting over one of the governance letters. I need to go over that as well. I'll try to be as brief, if not more brief than Luis was. Just acknowledging, again, the standards for which we perform the audit, the government auditing standards and uniform guidance to the amount of federal money that I just described. Acknowledging that every audit or every report includes estimates. I think the example that was given was depreciation, certainly applicable to this particular audit report as well. I already discussed the difficulties encountered in performing the audit, confirming that as difficult as completing that audit was, there were no disagreements with management along the way. And so I'll just leave that as well. Again, the letter I think has been provided to you or will be provided to you, and that's called the governance letter. If you would like to take a read of it at your convenience. There's also 3 other reports that are being presented to you all today, at least for submission and acceptance. One, again, is the county annual comprehensive financial report itself. Again, I always acknowledge just the volume of this report. Now it's pushing over 400 pages. And then we still have the single audit report separately bound. That's another 50 pages. And then there's another comments report. So the whole entirety of the submission is over 450 pages. I am going to jump into the report and just speak to about 3 different topics, just in the interest of time. One, just acknowledging that even though it is submitted late, it's still an unmodified opinion, clean opinion consistent with that of the prior years. If you were to read this report letter opinion and compare it to that of the previous one that was presented with the drainage district, you'll see that they read differently, but they're both meant to be the same. The reason they read differently is that the old standard is still applicable to this year's report. You would see that change in the 2021 audit report of the county. So it is an unmodified clean opinion as it relates to the financial statements being submitted. And then if I turn over to page 32 of the actual audit report and just focusing on fund balance, I always believe that to be probably, the most important number, certainly one of the most important numbers within an audit report, and just letting the elected officials know kind of where they stand. I've always shared that, most governments will live and die by its fund balance, and therefore I'll just confirm to you that the fund balance as of December 31st, 2020, the unassigned was 22 million. 25 million goes to the unassigned for a total of about 47 million. It is actually in its totality $3 million more than the 19 fund balance. So that's always a good thing. Also, too, just a reminder that the county always has this objective or goal of maintaining a fund balance equal to about 10 to 15% of its general fund expenditures, and you are meeting that goal as well. As a follow-up, I know Judge Cortez had a question with respect to cash equivalents. And just confirming that one of the differences in this report is that the county does have investments, or at least has an investment category, and what that consists of that's different than the previous report that was presented, is that these investments are just longer term. They just happen to be certificates of deposit. I will acknowledge that as we have in the past, we do have there are comments and recommendations. Those would be included within the back of the single audit report. There's about 11 or 12 of those in there. Certainly because of the timing of the issuance of the report, it's really hard for the county to act on them just because of just the timing of it all. But certainly we'll be looking at those going into this 2021 audit report. And so we'll be looking at those again, and certainly we'll talk about those in more detail in this upcoming presentation whenever the 2021 audit report is complete. Judge, in the interest of time, that is my presentation, and I'm willing to go into as much additional detail you all would like, but just given it is historical numbers, and at this point, I got to believe that you're more interested in what's current, where you're at today, and where you may be down the road. So I'll leave it at that.
Rick, I have 2 quick questions. Number
Sure.
one, was the staff shortages that we experienced as a result of the 2020, lateness in the report, was this unique to us, or was this generally all over the state?
Yeah, so this is unfortunately one of those things where, misery loves company. So this is not unique to the county. Other government entities and non-governmental entities, nonprofit businesses, they're all running behind on audits. As late as this, I can't say that, but everybody's behind, Judge. And people are just struggling to find accounting personnel to be able to just handle their day-to-day operations.
Okay, more importantly is my second question. Has this situation been corrected, or are we still in the?
So I would say that the county is still going through the same challenges, Judge. Again, I mentioned the weekly meetings that we're having with Valde to make sure that he's involved in the processes. Where we're talking about ideas and how the county can move personnel around between departments to help accounting personnel to get us our stuff. So it's an ongoing issue.
Well, as you know, the auditor's office is not under our control, it's under somebody else's control.
Correct.
And I think we need to know that there's everything's being done to correct the situation, and that's my question to you.
Yeah, and to me, everything would include two aspects, Judge. One is trying to find people. I know they're trying to find people. I acknowledge that they're not out there. Two, maybe looking at just the overall pay structure within the department. That's something that they need to be bringing to you all or to whoever that they need to ensure that people are not leaving, because it's so competitive out there that people are just stealing people left and right.
Thank you, Rick.
Sure thing.
Want to have any questions?
No, sir.
Do I have a motion to accept the report?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Ricky.
Thank you all. Thank you for allowing us to be of service.
Next item is presentation of the delinquent tax report for the period of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th of 2022.
Good morning, Judge Cortez, County Commissioners. My name is Kelly Salazar. I'm present this morning with my partners Lucy Canales and Michael Cano. Mr. Cano will be co-presenting this morning. This is our delinquent tax collection report for the period of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. This report will describe the Linebarger Advantage. Our strong and adaptive collection program continues to guide our team to proven success. Next slide, we obtain our data from the Hidalgo County Tax Office, and that begins our collection process. We identify those accounts ready for collection efforts. We complete targeted mailings to the delinquent taxpayers in the county. We continue our research of those accounts, leading to personal contact with the taxpayer via telephone or personal contact now. And if those collection efforts prove unsuccessful, we proceed to litigation as a final option to collect. On the next slide, you'll see our pre-litigation activity summary for this fiscal year. We conducted over 102,000 statements mailed within the county, over 97,000 phone calls incoming and outgoing. We knocked on 798 doors within the county, educating and informing taxpayers of their tax delinquency, and we initiated over 1,100 payment agreements. On the next slide, you'll see a summary of our litigation activities. We filed over 1,400 lawsuits, disposed of 962. We took 709 judgments, and we filed 61 tax warrants on delinquent business personal property accounts in the county. On the next slide, we'd like to emphasize our community outreach that we do as an additional Linebarger Advantage for the county. Earlier, Mr. Villarreal mentioned the American Rescue Plan Act and our teamwork with the County Tax Office to inform the community about grant money available and the resulting success so far to the residents in the county. Another example of our community outreach began about 7 years ago when Linebarger teamed up with the County Tax Office and Appraisal District to offer free question and answer forums on the tax cycle, beginning with appraisals, then leading to assessments and to collections. These are free forums held every quarter in each county precinct. Most recently, we were offered to attend Region 1's session with school district business office personnel, and were able to answer any questions that they might have. They had quite a few good questions, and that was received very well. And lastly, we like to also remind those online and watching that we have 4 convenient payment locations throughout the county, in each county precinct, to make it easy for folks to come in, get questions answered, and initiate payment agreements. And now I'll turn it over to Mr. Cano. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Let's just quickly go through some of the other highlights, and that is one of the biggest changes we had this year, which really is a big change because I think everybody knows here that tax sales and resales were done in person, traditionally at the courthouse steps and whatnot for over 100 years in this county. So this year, with the court's leadership, you all did choose a online variant of choice. I think we can move to the next slide. So we've gotten away from doing in-person tax sales, and we worked, very closely with Auction House. And I really want to give a lot of credit to this initiative, really to your DA's office civil staff. Everyone from Victor Garza, Josie Ramirez, Roy Quintanilla, they really spearheaded that effort in trying to carry out the commissioner's wishes of taking our tax sales online. They worked very closely with us, with Auction House, with all the constables, the sheriff's department, and I'm very happy to announce that all our tax sales now are now part of the 20th century, and we're doing everything, online, which is a lot easier for everybody. And I think it's actually increased the amount of money that we're receiving at these tax sales because obviously we have a much greater audience, and not just people here in Hidalgo County physically, but virtually anyone from around the world. So we're very proud of that effort. And you'll see on this next slide, there's kind of the breakdown of what we sold this past year. And the only thing I really want to mention here, Judge and Commissioners, is that we still work very hard not to target your resident homesteads for foreclosures. I'm very proud of the work that I've done on behalf of the county for the past 10 years, that we really never foreclose on resident homesteads. There's some very few exceptions when perhaps it's a homestead exemption, but it's not really someone's homestead. It's really a rental property or something like that. But really what we target are vacant lots, abandoned homes, commercial properties, and our goal is to get these eyesore properties back on the tax roll, and these are very good investment opportunities for a lot of individuals across the county. So that's what you have there. This last slide is really the meat and potatoes of what we do, and this is what we're actually very proud of. And I know at first light, when you look at that, it looks like we collected, a couple $100,000 this year than last year. But for those of us who are numbers geeks, and Judge, I think you'll understand this, this is actually a very, very good number. One, we had a great year last year, so we weren't sure whether we were going to be able to meet it. What we actually did. So even though the number 15, we collected just over 15 million this year, you'll actually see, I think the most important number here is probably the smallest number on the chart, which is the one on the very bottom. And that basically, you'll see that for this year, the adjusted DTR, that's a delinquent tax balance, how much money is owed to the county in taxes. You'll see that this year we had 31.9, about $32 million. Compared to last year, we had $33 million. And the reason this number is very important is if you go back just 10 years, you'll see that the county back then was, the current levy, which you're issuing in tax, tax bills, was about 157 million. That has increased by over 53% in 10 years. And what Paul was talking about earlier, you're now assessing taxes in about the $250 million range. That's an increase of 53%. I think common wisdom would tell you that as that revenue goes up, so does what goes into your delinquent taxes. Well, actually, if you go back 10 years, it was actually $36 million. That's what we had to collect from. So even though your current tax levy has gone up by 50%, almost, I think it's $83 million in the past 10 years, the amount of money that is owed to the county has gone from 36 million. You'll see last year was 33 million. This year it's 32 million. And so what does that mean? That means that the delinquent tax collections are very aggressive, and we're collecting more every year than what's being put in that bucket, if that makes any sense. So, and the only reason why I say that is because I think this is probably the best barometer of the county's taxpayers' financial health. We don't really like to look at sales taxes, even though I know the county doesn't have sales taxes, because that's money that comes in from the outside many times. So again, I think, Judge, I can honestly say that the county's in very good financial health. The taxpayers are in good financial health. We've had some great programs this year, what Mr. Villarreal was speaking about earlier. And I think that the trends that we have for the county are very, very positive. We're collecting more money at a higher rate, and actually this year we had the highest rate we've had in the past 10 years, which is I believe it was 34.20%. It's the highest collection rate we've had in 10 years, despite that number going down. So again, Judge, we're very proud of the work we do. I can't give enough credit to our staff. We have over 50 employees that work very hard on behalf of the county every day. We work very closely with your tax office, with the appraisal district, and I think the numbers do speak for themselves. So thank you for giving us that opportunity, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Well, thank you for always providing a real good service. That's good news, good information. I have a motion to accept the report.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, we have the Auditor's Office, the 2023 Statement of Estimated Available Revenues. I'm going to ask if we can take this up next and then thereafter go to closed session.
Okay.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this agenda item is to present the statement of estimated available resources for the 2023 year pursuant to Section Local Government Code, Section 110.063. As part of the process of estimating available resources for the new year, we projected ending fund balances of the current year. This process entails evaluating all revenue accounts to determine if original estimates will be realized and if there are new sources of revenue not previously estimated. For the general fund, the 2022 projected ending unassigned fund balance is $39,309,941. This represents 15% of currently appropriated expenditures and transfers out. The county's policy is to maintain an unassigned fund balance from 10 to 15%. So we're within the required amount per the policy. If the court uses unassigned fund balance to balance the 2023 budget, the ending unassigned fund balance will decrease accordingly. We also estimated revenues by analyzing prior year revenue trends, reviewing new statutes that affect the fees, and requesting feedback from county departments on estimated revenues. Estimated revenues for the 2023 year for the general fund, excluding the property taxes and other financial sources, is $31,385,967.84. If we include the estimated taxes of $232,464,122, the balance is $268,850,090 with 52 cents. In addition, we increased the estimated collection rate to 96.5% compared to 96% that we estimated in 2022. If the county adopts the tax rate of 0.5750 or 0.5750 for the year 2023, the total revenues for the general fund are estimated to be $263,850,000 with $263,850,000 with $90. So that is the presentation we have for today. If you don't have any questions, that's all we have.
Are there any questions? I have a motion to accept the report. Motion to accept it.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Letty.
We're going to be moving to closed session.
Judge, before you read the items that you're going to go to closed sessions, let me please state for the record that before the court takes up the items listed for the executive session agenda, let me state for the record that the court will not entertain for discussion or deliberation the item listed as AI 87555, discussion, consideration, and action regarding employment, evaluation, duties, discipline, and/or dismissal of the Head Start Executive Director. There will be no action taken on this specific item.
Okay, pursuant to Chapter 551 of Texas Government Code, we're going to be retiring to closed session to discuss items listed in code sections 551.071, 072, 074, and 087. I'm sorry, not 074, that's been excluded. But we have a motion to do so.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I have 3 minutes after 12. Okay, we're back from executive session, or closed session. It's 3 minutes after 1. Do we have any action items to take from?
Yes, sir, Judge, Commissioners, if I may, if we can, we go ahead and take the open session items. we can go back to our
25A, 25.
Yeah, so under open session, item 25, 25A, real estate and appropriation, or real estate acquisition appropriation for same, there's no action to be taken. 25B, pending and or potential litigation, there's no action to be taken. 25C, discussion, consideration, possible action regarding response to public health emergency. Judge Commissioners will refer back to the agenda items. Item 25D, there is no action to be taken under open session. Item 25E, claim of Maria Esmeralda Lara, Judge Commissioner, would like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $1,194.48.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 25F, claim of Gladys Rodriguez, Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $1,689.74.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And item 25G, claim of Alfonso Reyna Jr., Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $3,018.41.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Judge Commissioners, I believe we can go back to our, where we left off,
I believe we left off on item 13A.
emergency manager.
If Ricardo's not on the line, basically all of this is just, is he on?
There she is.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Judge. Agenda item 13A, number 1, presentation, discussion, and necessary action to terminate the proclamation declaring local state of disaster for the County of Hidalgo due to the recent wildfires.
Motion to approve.
Motion to do so.
Yes, sir.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A2, authorization for the county judge to sign the required documentation.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 13B, 1, presentation, discussion, and necessary action to terminate the local state of disaster for the County of Hidalgo due to the exceptional drought conditions that pose threat of imminent disaster.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, B2, authorization for the county judge to sign the required documentation.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Belinda.
Thank you, Judge.
Human Resources, Erica.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. Erika Reina for the Department of Human Resources. Item 14A, I'm requesting a waiver of the following if applicable for the personnel items listed. I need action on item number 1, the Civil Service Commission Rules, section 3.22, and item number 3, the Budget Amendment Policy, personnel-related amendments.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14B, approval of the appointment of interns from UTRGV to participate in the Hidalgo County WIC clinics for the period of October 4th, 2022 through December 30th, 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14C for the tax office, approval to create 6 temporary full-time positions effective October 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022 as follows. These are slots T251 through T256, clerk 1s at grade 1s. And this is the annual item that we bring to Commissioners Court in anticipation of the increased operations at the tax office. I do recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14D for the Sheriff's Office, approve the following personnel action effective the next full pay period, September 26, 2022. This is to create slot 0470, a public information officer for the Sheriff's Office at a grade 16. Judge Commissioners, this position will be the official spokesperson for the Sheriff's Office. This office has never had an official spokesperson, and as we know, they do disseminate critical and urgent information to the community, and so now we will have a slot dedicated to that communication. I do recommend approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14D2 is approval to revise the classified position list to add the new position, Public Information Officer, Sheriff's Office, grade 16.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14E for the Community Service Agency, approve the following personnel actions effective next full pay period, September 26, 2022. This is to create slots 104 and 105, eligibility workers ones at the salary stated, slots 106 through 109, eligibility workers twos at the salary stated, and slot 110, an accountant two at the slot at the salary listed. Item 14E2 is approval to waive the posting, hiring, and enrollment procedures and transfer employee number 8009 to eligibility worker 1, slot number 0104, employee number 8025 to eligibility worker 1, slot number 0105, and employee number 8013 to eligibility worker 2, slot number 106. This is not per se new positions. We are transferring the employees from one position to another position, to another grant, as there is a new grant commencing. I do recommend approval.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14F for the County Judge's Office, Public Affairs Division, approve the following personnel actions effective upon Commissioner's Court approval. This is to delete slot 0007, a Communications Specialist 2, grade 11, and create slot 0010, a Video Editor and Graphic Designer at a grade 15. Item 14F2, approve to revise the classified position list to add the new position of Video Editor and Graphic Designer, grade 15, and this slot will assist with countywide dissemination of county information. I do recommend approval.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14G for Precinct 1, approve the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. That is September 26, 2022. Judge Commissioners, I do have 3 reclassifications to present. These have been reviewed by the Reclassification Committee and are being recommended. The first one is to reclassify slot 0032 from an accounts payable grade 6 to an accounts payable grade 8, a specialist 2. Next one is slot 0163, a maintenance 3, grade 7 to a maintenance 4, grade 9. And the final one is slot 0030, supervisor 2, grade 11, to a parts foreman, grade 13. And so in reviewing these, what the committee found was these employees have taken on additional responsibilities over a period of time. Not just that, some of these are to ensure that we have a similar structure. We do have parks foremen in our other precincts, and precinct 1 did not have a parks foreman. There is an individual that has been fulfilling that role, and so for these reasons, the Reclassification Committee is recommending approval of this 3 reclassifications.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14H for the Elections Department. H1, discussion regarding appointment of interim Hidalgo County Elections Administrator per the County Elections Commission order. Judge Commissioners, the County Elections Commission has appointed Mrs. Hilda Salinas as interim director for the Elections Department.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14H2, approve the following personnel action effective upon Commissioner's Court approval through December 31st, 2022. This is in accordance with the item that was just presented. As a result of that action, I am recommending to add the supplemental allowance to slot 0185, Assistant Director for the Elections Department, grade 16, an extra amount of $10,000 due to this interim appointment. I do recommend approval.
Motion to
Motion to
approve?
approve.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14I, discussion and action on the employee paid quarantine leave policy. This is a policy that is being adopted by Hidalgo County in accordance with House Bill 2073 that was passed by the last Texas legislative session. The statute delineates very specifically who in the county is to be provided quarantine leave. Those positions are for detention officers and peace officers only in the event that they are exposed to a communicable disease while on duty. And so this is in accordance with state statute. I do recommend approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much. Urban County, Mr. Iverland.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. For item 15A, 1 and 2, approval of memorandum of understanding between Hidalgo County Urban County Program and the cities of Edinburgh, City of McAllen, and Mission. And number 2, approval for Hidalgo County Judge Richard F. Cortez to sign the memorandum of understanding.
Motion to approve
Sec-
15A, 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And for item 15B, 1 and 2, requesting authorization to extend the current Homeless Emergency Solutions Grant Program, CV Coronavirus Subrecipient Memo of Understanding Agreement between Hidalgo County Community Service Agency and the Hidalgo County Urban County Program, and requesting authorization for Hidalgo County Urban County Program to sign amendment.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For item 15C, requesting approval to recertify Affordable Homes of South Texas, Inc., a community housing development organization within the county of Hidalgo, and requesting approval to execute the 2021 Home Choto Agreement for Affordable Homes of South Texas, Inc.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And for item 15D, requesting approval to recertify Proyecto Azteca, Inc., a community housing development organization within the county of Hidalgo, and requesting approval to execute the 2021 Home Choto Agreement for Proyecto Azteca.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Iverland.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Mr. Olivares, back to you.
Yes, sir. Judge, I have a couple of items. Item 16A is presentation to Chapter 121 Local Public Health Reorganization Act, Section 12-1006, requesting approval of an immunization sliding schedule effective September 20th, 2022. The revision is added as revised guidelines by the State of Texas Vaccination for Children Program. Basically, so we're going to be charging a $10, well, we can charge up to a $10 administrative fee when indicated.
Motion approved.
Second.
Have a motion to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
On item B is requesting approval to submit a budget in the amount of $150,000 to the Texas Department of State Health Services for additional funding to support, there's a correction here, sir, it's the South Texas All Hazards Conference, not the Hurricane Conference. To support the South Texas All Hazards Conference event in 2023. This will be our ninth year, sir. This is a big event. We're going to expect over 4,000 people to attend, again, in partnership with the county, different county agencies.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item, sir, is requesting approval for certification of revenue by the county auditor in the amount of $25 and appropriations of the same. The revenue was collected by Child Health FY22 program.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item D is requesting approval of certification of revenue by county auditor in the amount of $25 and appropriation of the same. The revenue was collected by our prenatal FY22 program.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item, sir, is requesting approval to accept the TBPC federal grant contract, HHS 001096400020, amendment number 1 in the amount of $427,128 in grant funds and $85,426 in local match, which has been appropriated through our general fund budget for the period of January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023, and for the county judge to e-sign the grant contract and related documents.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
Commissioners. Have a
Mr.
blessed
Olivares.
day.
Item 17A, Commissioner Fuentes.
Thank you, Judge. Precinct 1 is requesting approval to accept the counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as Parcel 7 associated with the Mile 6 West Road Improvement Project, CSJ 0921023555, with authority for the county judge to sign the administration evaluation and approval form. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 6 and 8, Commissioner Villarreal.
Acceptance and approval of an interlocal cooperation agreement between Hidalgo County and the City of Alton to assist one another in the road improvement of Glasscock Road between 5 Mile Line and 6 Mile Line. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
18A2, in accordance with Section 791.014 of the Texas Government Code, requesting approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement, ICA project for road improvement to Glasscock Road from 5 Mile Line to 6 Mile Line. Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is item 9A for budget and management. I now declare the public hearing open to discuss the 22 proposed tax rate of .570 per 100 valuation. Is anyone here to address us regarding this tax rate? Hearing none, that closes our public hearing. We'll move to item 19B.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. Item 19B, fiscal year 2023 Texas Vine Grant Program. Discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into a participating entity services agreement between the Hidalgo County, Texas, and Aprise Insights Limited Liability Corp. in relation to the statewide automated victim notification services for the fiscal year 2023 Texas Vine Grant Program with authority for county judge as authorized official to execute agreement.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 19C is discussion, consideration, and approval of Magic Valley Electric Co-op agreement for the installation of streetlights for the New World subdivision located in Precinct 4.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 19D under the American Rescue Act, discussion and consideration and action to approve the use of ARPA relief funds for procurement of the Hidalgo County Tyler New World Project, ARPA number 22-200-124, to increase integration with the court and the RMS software platforms, allowing for more streamlined data processing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item number 2 deals with discussion and consideration and action to approve an increase in funds to the courthouse Wi-Fi project and telephone connectivity system project, ARPA number 21-200-013 to $880,749.05.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item number 3 under ARPA's discussion, consideration, and action to approve an increase in funds to the Hidalgo County Prevention of Inmate Overcrowding Efforts, ARPA Project 21-280-61 to $19 million.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 9 under
question.
an item
Question,
9.
question.
I'm sorry.
Can you send me the updated spreadsheet with the ARPA funds that would have this?
Yes, we'll take care of that this afternoon, and we'll send it to respective precincts and departments.
Thank you.
Okay. May I
Next
continue?
item.
Okay. Under 19E, Budget Appropriations, Economic Development, approval of 2022 appropriation of funding to economic development in the amount of $65,000.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item E2, requesting approval of certification of revenues by county auditor in the amount of $189,330.48 from the Precinct 4 Drainage Improvement Projects, labor reimbursement, and appropriation of the same.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our favorite part of the agenda, Mr. Belmontes.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners, Eduardo Belmontes, Purchasing Department. Item 20A, requesting approval to adopt Hidalgo County purchasing process procedures for implementation and policy and all formal procurement solicitations.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20B1A1, discussion, consideration, and possible action to revise, amend the existing interlocal agreement with City of FAR under contract number 2104870601 or in the alternative, A2, accept the letter of termination from the city of FAR.
And Mr. Velmares, to be clear, this is the acceptance of the letter of termination from the city of FAR before the Commissioners Court is pursuant to the current interlocal agreement in Precinct 3.
That's correct.
Thank you.
What's the recommendation?
What's your recommendation?
Recommendation is to accept the letter of termination.
Motion made?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So it's clear for the record, the court is taking no action on item B1A1,
Thank you.
correct?
Correct.
Do we need to make a motion? It was an either or, it was an alternative.
Oh.
So the recommendation was made to take action on item B1A2. That was done, so just for the record, there's no action being taken on B1A1. 20, item 20, B1A1.
Okay?
Yes, you're good to move on.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
Go ahead, Tocayo.
Go ahead.
Okay. 20B1B, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.02482, an item necessary to preserve or protect the public health or safety of the residents of the county.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Velmares, if I may, item C, there will be no action.
Okay. Item D, requesting authority to enter into a 6-month contract with option to extend an additional 6 months with Skyline EMS Inc. for Precinct 3 for emergency ambulance services to be provided in the unincorporated areas of the county with authority for county judge to sign any and all pertinent documents as needed.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20B2A, discussion, consideration, and action on amendment number 2 as drafted and approved as to legal form by Honorable J. Hawkins Port Hedges between Hidalgo County and Architect HCR Architecture, Inc. under contract 16-141-1031 to include the following scope of work in connection with the construction of the new Hidalgo County Courthouse project. B, requesting approval of amendment number 2, radio antenna coordination.
Just a correction, it's amendment number 22, but I make a motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And C, requesting authority for county judge and/or Mr. Valdeguerra, Hidalgo County CEO, to sign any required documents.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20B3, requesting approval to award the contract for project pipes and related miscellaneous items through RFP 22043708 17 TDL to the following: A, Our Works Pipe and Supply, B, Rio Valley Pipe LLC DBA Kappa, and C, Act Pipe and Supply. This will be a multiple awards contract.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20C1A, acceptance and approval of the agreement with NA3 Group PLLC DBA Cornerstone Real Estate Inspections in the amount of $13,745 for the inspection of the Willacy County Jail Facility with authority for county judge and Eduardo Belmez purchasing agent to sign any and all required documentation.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
B, pursuant to approval of A, requesting ratification of the agreement with NA3 Group PLLC DBA Cornerstone Real Estate Inspections for the acceptance of the terms and conditions.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And C, requesting approval for payment for order number 1269 as claims with authority for county treasurer to issue payment after review and auditing procedures are completed by county auditor.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20D1A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.024A4, a personal service.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
D, acceptance and approval of the personal service agreement and fee schedule for consulting services related to county poverty and economic development issues with Mr. Mario Reyna.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20E1, requesting approval to purchase radio equipment and related supplies for communication interoperable through our membership participation with Byborg contract number 62720 through requisition 457315 in the amount of $45,313.24 for Hidalgo County Emergency Management.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20F1A, acceptance and approval of an interlocal cooperation agreement between the County of Hidalgo, the City of Mercedes, and Urban County Program, CDBG, for a road reconstruction improvement to a portion of Dawson Road from Mile 8 North Road extending south approximately 1,324 total linear feet.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And be in accordance with section 791.014 of the Texas Government Code, requesting approval of a road improvement project to a portion of Dawson Road.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20F2, pursuant to Article 14 of the current agreement, contract number 2201280818, ARPA 21121044, requesting authority by J&R Engineering to engage subcontractors.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20G1A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.02484, a professional service.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
B, presentation of scoring grid for the purpose of ranking by Hidalgo County Commissioners Court of firms graded through the county's pool of pre-qualified professional services for engineering services for the Highway Safety Improvement Program located within precinct number 3. The following are the rankings: KCI Technologies, Inc., 92, Consor Engineers, LLC, 86, and HTE, 81.
Motion
Does the
to
court
approve.
wish to approve in the following in the rank?
Second.
We have a motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
C, requesting authority for Hidalgo County Purchasing Department to negotiate a professional engineering service agreement commencing with the number 1 ranked firm of KCI and Technologies, Inc. for the provision of engineering services for the Highway Safety Improvement Program related within precinct number 3.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20G2A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code Section 262.02484, a professional service.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The presentation of scoring grid for the purpose of ranking by Commissioners Court of the firms graded and evaluated to the county's approved pool of professional surveying services for on-call for precinct number 3, County Parks Upgrade. The following are the rankings: Sames, 98, Melton and Hunt, 91, and Rowe, 90. Does the court wish to approve in the ranking presented?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
C, authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional survey service agreement commencing with the number 1 firm of Sames for professional survey services for on-call precinct number 3, County Parks Upgrade Project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20H1, approval of change order number 1 and 2 to extend the term of an additional 50 days in connection to agreement under contract number 210611-0222 with RG Enterprise LLC, DBA GNG Contractors, as reviewed and recommended by project engineer Channing Engineering LLC for the construction of Pueblo de Palmas Park project in precinct number 4 with authority for county judge and/or commissioner Eli Torres to sign required documents.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20H2, requesting approval supplemental agreement number 1 to contract number 210601-0921 between Hidalgo County and RO Engineering PLC to extend the contract termination date for an additional 1 year for the design and construction of a parking lot and safety improvement at the San Carlos CRC in precinct number 4 under contract 210601-0921.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20H3, requesting ratification of procurement method on AI 86617, previously approved on Commissioners Court 7/26/2022, as it has been revised from RFP number 220026300824 JLC to the following: RFB number 220026300921 JLC for Davis Road Citizen Collection Site Project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20I1A, pursuant to Texas Local Government Code Chapter Section 263.151 2BCD, and 263.152A2, action to declare 3 6-hour 1911 U-45 VSS handguns and 19 Sig Light P320/45 ACP handguns as surplus as detailed and described in the exhibit attached for the purpose of disposition of the 22 units for use and trade-in towards the acquisition of new armory equipment.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And be approved to purchase 3 new SIG Arms 1911 Emperor Scorpion pistols and 19 new SIG Arms P320 pistols through Hidalgo County membership participation with Bybor Cooperative Contract under contract number 603-20, awarded vendor Barney's Police Supplies in the total amount of $5,060.
So moved.
Motion. Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And C, requested approval to remove said equipment A from the Hidalgo County inventory once purchased is approved.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20J1, requesting authority to ratify agenda item 86999 approved by Commissioners Court on 9/6/2022 to include the appropriate supporting documentation for the continuation of the sole source software license agreement and support services between Cardinal Tracking Inc. and the Hidalgo County Criminal Hideout Task Force.
Motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
20K1A, requesting authority to advertise with the approval of RFP procurement packet as attached here to for Hidalgo County self-funded health plan stop loss reinsurance services with the authority to re-advertise if applicable.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And B, requesting action to appoint an evaluation committee to grade proposals received for self-funded health plan stop loss reinsurance services.
Mayor Suarez for precinct 1.
Mando Garza.
Jorge Alcaute.
Belinda Reyes?
Isaac Suleiman.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20L1, requesting authority to purchase to A4 ID Now COVID testing kits from Abbott Rapid DX North America LLC through GSA contract number 36F79721D0073 in the total amount of $82,656.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20L2, requesting approval to purchase 2 2023 mobile health clinic Sprinter vans for Hidalgo County Health Department through our participation with GSA Advantage Cooperative Contract number GS30F0012T in the total amount of $420,267.43.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Hold on, I'm sorry, what was that?
Can we make it a note that that's a ARPA funding project?
You want to come to the microphone so they can record you?
Mr. Belmonte, correct me if I'm mistaken, I think that this is going to be funded with an ARPA project funds.
That is my understanding, yes, sir.
Okay, then I'll
So
make,
I'd like that for the record.
so my motion will reflect that, thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Okay? We have a motion and a second with those corrections. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20M1, requested approval of the memorandum of understanding to provide the Pathway to Lactation Consultant Education Program for students of the university interested in becoming International Board Certified Lactation Consultant, IBCLCs, for a one-year term with automatic renewal for successive one-year periods between Hidalgo County Women, Infants, and Children WIC program and the University of California, San Diego Lactation Program.
Motion to approve?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Do we get a second?
I
Oh,
second.
second, no.
20M2, presentation of the qualified sole response received from Beck Development Corporation for the purpose of awarding the bid and approval contract number 2204310920 for the lease of space for WIC storage.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20N1, acceptance of submitted proposal and approval to award to job order contractor Hercon LLC through Hidalgo County membership with Bybor Cooperative Purchasing Program awarded JOG RS Means contract number 581-19 with authority to process purchase orders to the following requisition number 460749 and the total amount of $61,579.64 for repair and installation of the gas pumps at Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office and Westlaco East Substation.
Motion to approve?
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20N2, requesting approval payment for the following invoices submitted by HERCOM for the renovation of Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office Vicksburg building through the current agreement contract number 581-19, payment application number 1 and 2 under PO 846810, payment number 1 in the amount of $64,000 and payment number 2 in the amount of $20,685.98.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
2001, requesting approval of an upgrade of service with Foremost Telecommunications under contract number 17-314-0326 through service order number 022657-02 to replace service order 016638-02 for an increase in speed to 1 by 1 Gbps in the total amount of $600 per month with authority for county judge or executive officer to sign any required documentation.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20P1 through Hidalgo County membership participation with the interlocal purchasing system TIPS, acceptance of a rebate check from Region 8 Educational Services Center in the amount of $612.60, check number 58338 dated 8/30/22 for the annual fiscal year purchase reported and processed through TIPS on 2022.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And 20P2, requesting approval to award fire alarm and security monitoring services under request for bids 2204080831 KMG to Triple R Fire and Safety LLC, the sole bidder meeting all requirements specifications.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That is all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Judge Commissioners, if I may, under Executive Office, presentation for discussion, the following new courthouse project updates. There's no action to be taken today. Update on ongoing county-owned building construction, relocation, and renovation of projects. There is no action to be taken. And item 3, emergency situations occurring since last agenda meeting. Judge Commissioners, just as a matter of information, at roughly right around 3 a.m. last night, we had issues with the cooling tower at our present courthouse. So that was worked on last night, early this morning. The issue was resolved, rectified, but as of this morning, the cooling tower was trying to catch up with the opening of the courthouse this morning, and so, but by now, everything should be up to par by way of the temperature and humidity control in the building. Item B, have a request from Region 1 Education Center for the use of the Hidalgo County Courthouse for the 2023 Regional Mock Trial Competition to be held on Saturday, January 28, 2023. This is an annual event. With that being said, my office works with Judge Noe Gonzalez's office on the mock trial.
Is this the new courthouse or the?
No, this would be held at the old courthouse.
We need a motion to approve?
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
Okay, a motion second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C is approval to accept settlement check from TML Intergovernmental Risk Pool in the amount of $19,471.52 to settle property damage to one of our county trash compactors.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
There's already been discussion action on 21D. Item 22, discussion, consideration, possible action regarding county response to disaster health emergency, One American Rescue Plan Act funds. There's no action to be taken, no specific action to be taken. Item B, measures necessary to preserve public health and safety, no specific action to be taken. And direction regarding county government operations, including but not limited to essential functions. Judge Commissioners, as we have been for quite some time, we continue to follow CDC recommended guidelines, and we're working closely with our facilities management department to address any and all issues of concern with respect to the COVID-19 pandemic. Again, the health and safety of our residents doing business with the County of Hidalgo is first and foremost, as is the employees providing that valuable service.
I believe that concludes all our agenda items.
Judge, my apologies. For the record, there is no action under item 24A, 24B, and there is no need or action to be taken under item 26 and item 27.
Okay, I believe that concludes all our agenda items. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.